Hello everybody. I guess I could take out the funky music. We had a bit of an issue here, folks. We had a bit of an audio issue. We had a USB port fail on us, of course, with our mixer right before we started. So we're in a bit of catch-up mode, but it's great to see all you folks in here. Hope you're doing fantastic, and welcome, guys, to our Monday night. I like to think it's becoming a series for us now, covering YouTube in more depth on the subject, and it's been. I like to think it's been working out pretty good so far.
Yes, there is a lot to talk about. YouTube is such a huge platform with lots of things going on, and especially at the end of the year right now. And we like to discuss those things with you, bring you some new information, hopefully that you can use for your channels, and hear your opinions in the discussion as well. So hello and welcome to our Puša Studios Special. Today we are going to be talking a little bit about COPPA, but mainly how you can take advantage of it. That's right, you heard it correctly. Take advantage of COPPA. You can do it.
That's right, guys, and it's talking about putting your best foot forward, working with the situation at hand, and finding a way to make it work in your favor. And there is a lot of negative publicity about COPPA, and rightfully so. Don't get me wrong. We're not waving a banner for it, but we're talking about the cards that are dealt and how we can work with it. And this is something we've always talked about a lot. About how to take scenarios that are going on. Oh, sorry about that. There, I'll move that back there. Like I said, guys, things all over the place. Great to see all you guys, by the way. Fantastic, folks. It's taking things and making them work in your favor. Because really, in the end, if they don't change, and let's face it, it's not going to go back to the way it was. I mean, we'll hopefully get some FTC to be a little more understanding on a few things at best, but it's not going back to where it was. So it's finding a way to make it work in our favor. Good evening, Barefoot Adventures in the house, exploring with Carl. We got Elegant Homestead. Oh, what a pleasure to see you. Hope you're fantastic. Jackie Aruz in the house, our resident sweetie. Super Dave 44. What is going on, Super Dave? It's been a while. I hope you're doing fantastic. Glitch is in the house. Jenny O'Brien is in the house. How are you doing today, Jenny? Hope all is well. Destination Chronicles, how are you? Taking advantage of COPPA, like COPPA feel.
Yeah, we should rename all of our episodes in this series.
We have so many that we've been playing around with, guys, on this thing. This name is gold.
You still didn't change the thumbnail for that Hawaiian themed shirt.
Because I might use it for something else.
I was waiting. Everybody was waiting. I wasn't the only one.
We worked together. You know exactly what was happening.
No, I actually was expecting it.
Just kidding.
We don't talk. We only talk during live
That's
streams.
right. The rest of the time, for 22 hours a day, we just go into separate rooms and come together for the show.
The Creator Spotlight, that's actually true. The Creator Spotlight show is saying survive and thrive.
Exactly.
100%, that's right.
I like that. Guys. I like that a lot. Creepy Clown Girl, what is going on? Great to see you. And Cali Beauty Canada, how are you? Yes, the Bombers won the cup. Congratulations to the West on that one, for sure.
And the guy in Winnipeg finally can put his pants on. For 29 years since the last time they won, he refused to put his pants on. He was wearing shorts everywhere, even in winter, even to funerals.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about this one.
He only said he's going to put them on when his favorite team is going to win again. And it happened 29 years later.
I think you could have spent that time more wisely getting help. Bearded Picker, how are you? Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. It's good to hear. Good to hear. And you, Andrew, doing great. Like I say, a little bit of running around, but nonetheless, we're here and ready to go. Hope you guys are having a great start to your week. Thank you so much, Playworthy, and hope you are as well. It is off to a good start, an interesting start. and Callie agrees on that one. So, oh my God, you guys are all. Stingray Steve, don't hate me because I'm a boomer. No. Anything but.
No.
Anything but.
We love you.
Yes, and YouTube loves you. And that's what we're going to get into. Lip Sync Jedi, how are you? Great to see you. Brocknex, I'm not in Winnipeg, but I'm not in pants either.
Yeah, he's in Alaska.
In shorts. Which is crazy. You're messing with our brains, my friend. You're messing with our brains. Every year you do this when it gets cold. You seem to get the tropical weather.
Spirit Box Paranormal, DM me and I'll try to guide you through it. We'll try it together, okay?
Brendan the Gent, how are you? Great to see you. Changing your wallpaper, you just go up to full review. And I had to restart my computer, so we're going to go through this stuff now, of course. And Xenia's talking behind me. There we go. And you're going to click on the icon right here. And you're going to drag your new photo in, and it should let it come in fine. Unless it's the sizing issue, I guess it should ask. That's Xenia's bobbing her head, so I guess that's what it was.
Well, no, I'm just reminding them that you never hear what I'm talking about, so that's okay. I'll literally just answer them to DM me, and we'll figure it out step by step together.
Oh, right.
But thank you
I
for
heard
showing
you saying that, but I just figured that one was a quick one.
Yeah,
So I
thank
thought
you.
I'd bring that part up at least and do a
Thank
little
you.
visual.
Yes,
So.
thank you. We all appreciate that.
East Dad, how are you in the house? What a great person to come right in and take the pressure off me having to talk with my wife like this back and forth. Thank you so very much. Daily Life and Nature. How you doing today? Welcome back. New video live stream. Thank you very much. Great to have you. Great to have you. Nick Molnar, what is going on? It was nice and warm here in Ontario where I live. +10 was great. Yeah, we were about +5, about half what you got. Thank you so much for the Canva recommendation. It worked beautifully, Stash says. That is awesome. And thank you for letting us know that.
That is awesome. Yes, it is a great way of doing your channel art on any graphics. If you've seen any of our animated graphics on social media and some of it on our community posts as well, that is made on Canva as well.
The Northern Ohio Railroad, don't forget to tweet it out and smash the like button and tell a friend about Pusa Studios. Thank you so very much. You took the words right out of my mouth, and I do appreciate it. Yes, guys, please let people know what's going on. Help us out. Hit the like button. I'm keeping an eye to see how long before we get limited monetization for talking about YouTube once again. Pixelpia, I still don't know what the generation I am, but I'm ready to take over. Oh my God, do I love your attitude, and then some.
Yeah,
and then some.
We'll definitely gonna dive into that as well. We're gonna do a little breakdown on the latest changes on the years of what generation is which, and you can figure out which one are you.
Tamara, it's great to see you. And above and beyond, Jerome says, LOL. Andrew avoids Ksenia.
Yeah, at all costs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm playing the violin right now.
You okay? You want to talk about it? Let's share. You like that word, share.
Okay, let's do it right now.
Oh, Jesus.
Wasn't expecting that one. No, we're not going to bore you with that, guys. Although it might get interesting. You never know.
Okay, I'm going to give a little shout out to my son right here crawling around. Son, can you open the window about 4 inches? And then next time when you want to bring Mom coffee, we'll swing it over here and you can put it on the speaker so you don't have to pretend that you're in Rambo or anything like that.
Yeah, he's super nice, though. Shout out to our middle guy here.
You'll want more money. Stop saying that.
Yeah, he'll want a cut.
We got to talk about your improvement. I see a lot of things that...
Well, he was in the honor roll for the first term of this year, so we can say that.
Oh my God, gone into mother mode and then...
Yeah, our oldest one got promoted.
Oh my God almighty.
And our little one reads on the next grade level. There you go. I got all of them out.
I'm so embarrassed to be part of this right now. I just...
Well, you know, gotta be real. Gotta be proud parent. Sometimes.
Wowzers.
So what are the updates? Is the worst over? Well, we are going to be talking about how we can turn it around and let COPPA work to our advantage. I know, it sounds impossible, but believe me, even in the worst times, we can always turn it around. And we're going to tell you how we turned around the first apocalypse that happened in 2018. So we know all about that.
That's right, guys. We'll get into just a minute. Nomad Unbroken says, I'm not really here. I'm just a figment of your imagination. Deep. And Exploring with Carl says, we like the name Carl. We sure do, Carl. We sure do, my friend. Mother mode is the best mode. 7 is enough, said. There you go.
And she has 7.
Yeah. That's
so
right.
Imagine, we only have 3. So.
And Pixelpia Teaching and Learning says, always be a proud parent.
That's right.
There you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I love all the support always for me on this live stream. It gets me boosted, motivated for the next day,
Oh my
till
God almighty.
Till our hour of the night again.
You'd think the God she was locked in a closet. I mean, good God.
Pineapple.
yeah, pineapple, right. I think me needs to be calling out the safety word. That's right. I also, guys, want to remind you, don't forget about your selfie. A selfie of you watching us. You can't do that. A selfie of you. Upload to Twitter. Just make sure to use the hashtag Blue Wrench Group so us and everybody can find you. Here is last night's, guys. There you go. There is our ones from last night. We have Bait the Hook, Dad Incredible, Pixelpia Teaching, and B&D Chronicles all there, so we'll share them out after the live stream. It's a good chance to give your channel some extra push by getting the link shared out. The algorithm likes when that happens, so it's a good thing. And just some more people to get eyes on your channel, as well as you've seen they appeared at the beginning of our opening credits tonight. Same for tomorrow. So you guys keep me laughing. If we do that, that's a good thing. That's a good thing when it's all said and done. So you guys are absolutely awesome. You guys keep us entertained. Let's keep some more entertained, guys. Hit the like button, tweet it out, tell friends, all that good stuff. We'll get into it in just a few minutes, guys. But let them know what's going on. I'm going to do an update and see if we've been knocked down to limited monetization. I'm curious if we'll actually make it through tonight. Let's see. Let's see. Ooh, drum roll. Drum roll. We're still monetized. 12 minutes into it. Well, that's freaking awesome. There you go. That's a first. Cardosa Media, great to see you. Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic, my friend. Great to see all of you guys here. Grant McIntosh is here. He says, where? Where?
And we have Cardoso Media joining us as well. Old guy or old car guy, like Andrew says. He's here as well.
Or Cardoso that I just said 30 seconds before
I'm
him.
just repeating you.
The Art of Handmade Dolls and Stuff. How you doing? Great to see you, as well as Jeff's Custom Artist. Fantastic to have you all in. EBR FPV. What is going on, my friend? Fantastic. So many great channels here, guys. Once again, niches. Lots of niches in here. You guys are the ambassadors for your niches.
Ooh, and this what we call monetization. Super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. Lucky Beach Salon, thank you so much for that. Super sticker, super chat. Thank you. And if you are yearning for more super stickers at song, you can go to our video we dropped on Saturday and check out more super sticker, super chat song with a promo of our new Teespring merchandise. That's right, you guys asked for it and we performed. We always try to answer your requests. Super sticker, super chat merchandise down below in the merch shelf, also in the video, in the chat, and of course on our Teespring store. Check that out. Thank you so much. Because it is time for super sticker, super chat, 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 super sticker, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. Super sticker, super chat. Thank you so much for being so kind. Thank you.
So if you're not sure what it's about super sticker, super chat merch. It's a little hard to tell sometimes.
And there is socks and joggers, unisex tank tops, unisex full print shirts, and the front shirts print as well, and of course cups and socks as well. So everything and anything, if you want to order it for your friend or loved one for Christmas, that's also is available there.
Lip Sync Jedi, thank you so very much for the super chat. Do appreciate just showing some love, guys. Thank you so very much. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. And once again, thank you for the support. It is really, really appreciated. Terrell's Artwork channel is in the house, guys. The very first wrench ever handed out on Puša Studios. There's the one right there, guys. There's the guy, Terrell's Artwork channel. Make sure to check out Terrell. Otterman, how are you? How's it going? Holy God, it's been a while. How are you doing? How are you doing? How is all with you? I'm sorry, I got stuff.
Sweet sounds ASMR. Hello, how are you? Daily Life and Nature is here as well. West Haven, always and forever, as always, is here and just shared our live stream on her community tab and Twitter. Thank you so much. Best import from Canada. You're always so kind to us. Thank you. Rock Truck Rob is here as well. Citizen of the Year. Anyone else missing watch hours? Now, this is something that was addressed a while ago by Jacob, Billette, and some other creators as well that had experienced that, and I can tell you that number one, all minutes have been turned into hours as part of the transformation of YouTube Studio app. Number two, it is a glitch if you don't see them at all, or they have reduced significantly. If there is a little bit of up and down, that's just a natural fluctuation of subscribers, views, and watch time all at the same time. So there you go. I hope it answers your question. Super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. Farmall Fanatic is finally on my side as well. So thank you so much for that. Super sticker, super chat, Farmall Fanatic. Yay! There you go. I turned him over.
Oh my God, he's regretting that one. He did one last night. He snuck one past the goalie. He didn't see it last night.
Oh my God.
So I want to give double shout out to Farmall Fanatic. You got the crazy as a loon version. I'm going to give you the thank you so much for the super chat. It is very much appreciated, my friend. Guys, Farmall Fanatic is getting close to that 10K, guys. Make sure also you're connected to everybody, guys. Reach out. Oh my God, I hate saying that because I say it in other channels to be polite because they don't want to say subscribe. Please make sure you are subscribed to everybody you know already, guys. Don't take it for granted. You see them in this live stream. You see them in other live streams. You see them in chats. Take 30 seconds and make sure you're still subscribed to them. It's happening at an alarming rate. You want to grow your channel fast? What is going on?
I don't know. That's what I was listening. You want to grow your channel fast? Go and check him out and check out each other here as well. Just please, no goals, no numbers, nothing like that. Today we talk about COPPA a little bit, but mostly about how we can turn it around and be a little bit more hopeful and optimistic about what is going on YouTube. Winds of change, as we called it, and we can definitely do that. Farmall Fanatic says, fairer than balance. This is for Andrew.
Equal opportunities. Thank you so very much. I was catching you for last night, so you didn't have to do that again, but thank you very much. Guys, check out Farmall Fanatic. His channel's almost 10K, and he is killing it, guys. The views are crazy. Crazy. You got to check him out. Farmall Fanatic. Mana FPV, how are you? Great to see you as well, by the way. The Idahoan, fantastic to see you. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Okay, go.
The little one who also wants to be on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm living in a nut house tonight.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Full moon.
Full moon. Yeah, that's right.
Sally Lloyd is here. Hello and welcome back here, giving us another chance. Thank you, Outdoors for Adventure. Hello. Kelly Beauty Canada, Otterman, Queen Jenna. Hello. How are you doing? You didn't miss anything. As always, we do a little bit of housekeeping here before we dive into the subject of the matter today.
Best friend in your thread is in the house. Why did YouTube unsub me from every channel, including this one? All the time. All the time. It is ridiculous, guys, how much that's happening.
Thank you for remembering us, Steph.
Always great to have you and Steph.
How's it going? Message me. DM me. I was thinking about you this week.
And the Heart of Handmade Doll stuff says hello to the little one.
She would love to.
Yeah, she would love to be on here, but seen too much of YouTube, not gonna happen. Tassie Adventures, hey, we got our channel that follows us from Tasmania in the house. One of our pinnacles in our YouTube journey on here has been a great pride of ours that we can say we have a channel from Tasmania that knows us. I swear to God, we're really proud of that. So, Rock Truck Rob, how are you? No, not tonight. Not tonight. No.
You did have some yesterday.
Yeah. I had more than enough yesterday. Got caught all of the sign on my beard and everything once I was done. Yeah. Good fun, good times. Those are in the past for tonight.
And in the future. Oh, definitely. The Art of Handmade Dolls. So check it out. Thank you so much. Wow.
Exactly. There you go. Farmall Fanatic. Blood X has had to resubscribe to me 5 times this week. Canadian Drone Hub. I'm on there 2-3 times a week. I've had to join Rogers a couple of times.
Panic D. I have to subscribe every time I visit their channel. Although I visit it a couple of times a week, I still have to subscribe and ring the bell every effing time I am there. I don't know how, but
it's insane, guys.
It really and YouTube says it doesn't do it. YouTube says it's all lies. Well, okay, let's just not. Otherwise, they're gonna demonetize it completely. Super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. Patreon pirate, thank you so much. How is it going? And thank you so much for that super sticker, super chat. Hi, thank you so much. Yeah, you're almost there.
Thanks for the cheering on. I appreciate that. That's what I was waiting for. So many great channels here, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. Let's rock the world. Let's rock the world, guys. Let's do it right now. There's no time like the present. Let's put this music on hold for a second. All right. On the count of 3, guys, we're going to work on that theory they have in China that everybody jumped up at the same time and landed would cause an earthquake. We're going to cause an earthquake right here.
Anybody from China here?
Yeah. Well, there you go. All right, guys, so let's do it on the count of 3. Everybody that has not hit that like button, let's turn it blue, folks, together. Here we go. Let me put on some more echo for this one. 1, 2, 3. Hit it. There it goes. There it goes. Oh my god. Oh, she just likes to do this to me. Oh god. Oh my god. Okay, now you're making me seasick. Alrighty. Alrighty.
Well, you asked for it, so.
Actually, no, but.
And Queen Jenna is dreaming about Super Sika Super Chat. When I dreamt the other night, I heard in my dream Super Sika Super Chat, and there you go. There is some more. Super Sika Super Chat, Super Sika Super Chat, Super Sika Super Chat. Grant McIntosh and Janet, I'm sure. Wink, wink. Thank you so much for that Super Sika Super Chat. And the first unicorn of the night. They are unicorns always and forever. Thank you so much. You both. Mwah. Thank you so much for that Super Sika Super Chat.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Grant and Janet. I'll be sure to send you a little note after saying an extra thank you for that. And alrighty then, Exploring with Carl. That is right. The Cryptics Collection. Good evening to you. Guys, though, we really do have a serious topic tonight, guys. There's been a lot of negativity about COPPA, and no, we're not going to fix it tonight. But we're going to talk about how we can spin this in our favor. And that's what we got to do on YouTube, guys. That is so important. This is something for everybody, so let them know what's going on.
Super Sika Super Chat, Super Sika Super Chat, Super Sika Super Chat. Southern Farm and Kitchen. Thank you so much for that. Super Sika Super Chat. Thank you. I gotta find the one that Val gave me that they hand painted. Show it every time.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much, Southern Farm and Kitchen. Greatly appreciated. Fan of Flight 101. Great to see you, Herman. Hope you're doing fantastic. Randy's Paranormal Investigation. Fantastic to see you, as well as the Artist Devil. Great to have you all in, guys. So many great people in here. It is an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege to have you all. Each and every one of you folks. No, you're not sorry. You're never sorry. You all say sorry, Andrew. You're absolutely not sorry in any way, shape, or form. So we're going to just cut to the chase on that one. The more I cringe, the more she goes off the wall, the happier everybody is. Let's just call it for what it is. So, Deviation, how are you? Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Sorry, Andrew. Yeah. Well, I got to do a rock star welcome, though, because we have so many great people in here, guys, and I just want to say hello to you. So, a great big welcome and hello to West Haven, always and forever. The Cryptic Collection is in the house. We got the cutting board here, folks. The Artist Devil is in the house, as well as the art of handmade dolls and stuff. Tazzy Adventures, great to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing fantastic.
I want Xenia to say it as loud as the horn, okay? Although this is not a super sticker, but fine.
Here, hang on. I'll give you this so you don't have to scream. Alright, knock yourself out. You just have to talk.
Super sticker, super chat. This is a payback. Was this a payback? This is not what Destination Chronicles asked for. Super sticker, super chat. There you go.
There. Good thing we got the windows open. The neighbors must have loved that one.
Yeah, I know. You came here for information, and there you go. This is a dab of entertainment that we are adding to it.
Mm-hmm. That's one word to call it. Entertainment. Alrighty, guys, I want to say, I'll start over again, guys. West Haven Always and Forever's in the house. The Cryptic Collection's in the house. The Cutting Board. The Creator Spotlight Show is here, folks. The Artist Devil is in the house. The Art of Handmade Dolls and Stuff. Tazzy Adventures is in the house. Sweet Sounds ASMR. Snacks and Stuff is here, guys, as well as Southern Farm and Kitchen, who is not sorry. Sally Lloyd is in the house. Welcome. We have Ryan Vexo. Great to see you. Rock Truck Rob is here, folks, as well as Randy's Paranormal Investigations, RPI. We got Queen Jenna in the house. We also got Pull My Pork BBQ. We got Posh Cats Camping in the house, folks. We got Herman, Phantom Flight 101. Patrick Jane Forums. How are you doing, bud? We have Patricia Norwood's Hobbies and Reborn. We got Patreon Pirate in the house. We got Oz TV. As well as Otterman is here, guys. That's right. An old guy on a bike is in the house, as well as Northern Ohio Railroad Action. Nomad Unbroken is here, as well as Mountain View Turning in the house. Mini Hut Cooking is in the house, as well as Mickey Sightings. We have Max Air 420. Mana FPV is in the house. And Lisa Free Spirit, great to see you. It's been a little bit. Hope all is well. Life of Chuck is here. Welcome. We have Jeff's Custom RC. We got Jane Cavalli. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. It's great to have you. We have hand paid jackpots. Grant McIntosh and Janet, who were snickering over a unicorn. We have Graceful Spirit and Ray in the house. FDL Seekers in the house. Farm All Fanatic, the man, once again, shout out for last night, missing your super chat. Sorry about that, buddy. He never complained, by the way. I found out, and that's why I'm saying that. Exploring with Carl is in the house. Great to see you, as well as LZ Adventures. We got Eddie and Jen, the vlogs, and then some in the house. Welcome. We got Drone Kings in Darwin sitting here, guys. Disabled Disney is here. Great to see you. Great to see you, as well as Destination Chronicles. Deviation, folks. That's right. Deviation is in the house, as well as David Build Vlogs. We got Daily Life and Nature in the house. We've got Daily Dose of Davis. Chef RJ Soul Food and More Edwards is in the house. And there's Roger. There he is. Canadian Drone Hub. Good to see you, buddy. That's where you can find me a lot of mornings, guys. Canadian Drone Hub hanging out there. 9 a.m. Eastern each morning. Cali Beauty Canada is in the house, guys. Great to see you, as well as Brendan the Gent. We got Best Friend in Your Thread. She really is, folks. The name's not lying. She was a guest of ours. She was back in the chat when we only had 4 or 5. And she is awesome. And we have Bearded Picker, a fantastic channel. This guy's killing it, guys. Way over 70K. We have Alex, the Blue Man, reviewer and gamer in the house, folks. And above and beyond drones. Now, I know, guys, some of the names get missed in there, so make sure to highlight our name and say hi so we give you a hello. Dougie's in the house. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Pleasure to see you as always. Hope all is good, my friend. Welder, Scotland, hey, what's good? Puša Studios, hope you guys are classy. Definitely, and hope you are as well. Great to see you. Fantastic to see you. Guys, we had a good crowd in here, and keep them rolling, keep it coming. Andrew's Payback. There's always Andrew's Payback. Seriously.
Super Sticker Super Chance, Super Sticker Super Chance, Super Sticker Super Chance, Southern Farm and Kitchen. Thank you so much for that. Super Sticker Super Chance. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Patrick, thank you very much, Southern Farms and Kitchen. Thank you. Once again, let me guess, you're sorry, right? Patrick Jane Forums, Pucha Rocks. You rock, my friend, as well. Patrick Jane Forums is the personal account of Killer Whale, guys. Killer Whale, great to see you. Originally, Flat Earth Forums, so if you remember him by that name more. Wood Pigeon Outdoors is in the house. Great to see you. Great to see you. Jason is in the house. Anybody else, guys, we missed? Make sure to highlight our name and say hi so we can give you a rock star welcome as well. We're going to get into it, guys, in just a minute. Information Man Show, great to see you. Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. We hope you're having a wonderful evening and a happy Thanksgiving to you both. God bless you. Thank you so much. We actually celebrate Thanksgiving earlier. It's the month before here in Canada. It was October 25th, right?
Something in October. I think it was.
That sounds about right. So yeah.
17th, but who cares?
Okay, one of those dates. So anyway, we celebrate it then. It is, I think it's mostly what I've been able to read up onto. It's just because of the colder weather earlier harvest season. But thank you so much. And I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing Thanksgiving. Dad Incredible, what's going on? Thanks for the shout out today. No problem. Hey, great photo, great photo. Hot Sauce Junkie Tim is in the house. Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. And guys, don't forget about the selfie. The MX Guru, how's it going? Great to see you, great to see you. A selfie of you watching us, you can't do that. A selfie of you, upload it to Twitter. Just make sure to use that hashtag Blue Wrench Group so us and everybody can find you. And we'll pick a couple after the live stream is over, guys. This is a great way to get some extra push for your channel. You pick a couple and put them on the community tab with your links. The algorithm loves when somebody shares your links for your channel, guys. It really helps, so it's another way to get a push. And we also use them in the opening credits of our next live stream. And while you're on Twitter, I hope you can consider following us there at the same time so we can keep in touch with YouTube doing such a great job of not updating us on when people are on. Twitter has definitely stepped up to the plate and then some for that. And if you have any of our other social medias, guys, as well, there you go. There you go right there, right before your very eyes. And don't forget, guys, our new merch you can find in our merch shelf. Make sure to check that out as well. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, just had a bit of a freeze.
Cover your ears because it is time for Super Sticker Super Chat, Super Sticker Super Chat, Super Sticker Super Chat, Super Sticker Super Chat. for being so kind. Thank you.
It's like capturing a nervous breakdown. That's how I would describe it.
Quite the opposite.
Quite the opposite. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking for my.
Who is having a nervous breakdown? You or me? That's the question.
Yeah, I guess it depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it depends. Yeah.
YouTube sent me my own notification I was live. Yes, it does that to us all the time.
Definitely.
If it does send a notification, it does send it to us as well. And that's how you know.
Alrighty, guys. I think we've just covered about all over our house
Yes.
cleaning. Let's get into it, guys. This we need a warning before the next time. Yes, I agree. Welcome to my life. Welcome to my
Well,
life.
I do warn you guys in the video. That's what it says. You know, cover your ears. It says at the very beginning of the video. Yep. Greetings to Sky Pilot. Hello.
Hey, Sky Pilot. Good morning to you, my friend. Hope all is fantastic. Thank you for the good words, Information Man Show. Not a problem. Not a problem, guys. We're all in it together. And right now, guys, we're going to discuss YouTube. We're going to talk about COPPA and how we can make it work for us. Cashing in on COPPA by being an adult. What are we talking about here? I mean, there's been so much negative press. Let me bring this echo way down there. That's a lot better. What are we talking about? There's been so much negative press about COPPA lately and how it's going to destroy YouTube and nobody has any more freedom on here and stuff like that. This is true for some channels. And we're going to have to be a lot more diligent on what we put up and understanding it better. This is also true. Do we have all the facts yet? No. Could this change some? Yes. Is it going to go back? Is it just going to stay the way it was or go back? No. And even though this is an FTC ruling, we have to look at YouTube. And I remember I've brought this up a couple times. Some people have asked me at the beginning. They said, what do you see for YouTube coming this year? Nobody knows. We don't have any. Most at YouTube don't even know. It's kept so lock and key. But it really falls under the whole thing that I said YouTube is not going to, by the time 2019 ends, it's going to look nothing like it did going into it. And really that's kind of been happening. And if you look at our homepage, you're going to see a listing of a bunch of live streams that we've done called tips and tricks and that. But really a lot of them are announcements. And there's been a lot of changes here already. It's not the first one to come in. What is different about this one from all the others? Monetary fines are now possible with what happens instead of worrying about losing a channel, losing a video, demonetized, etc., etc., etc. But that said, like anything else in life, there's a point where you're gonna have to look at it and say, either I'm going to accept what happens and stay on YouTube, or I'm not. So first thing out of the gate. COPPA, whatever shape or form it takes on as of January 1st, will not be limited just to YouTube. This is going across them. So thinking you can run away to another platform is going to change all of that is not going to be the fix for what you do. It might prolong what you do, but it's not exactly a very a long-term plan. It's putting all your eggs into something that's going to get hit at some point, either because this is meant to go across all shapes and forms of the. I know there's sites like BitChute and stuff like that people are using and that. I get that. I get the idea of it. I know it sounds very kumbaya-ish, and it might be. And it might be for a while. But you got to remember, guys, we've been down all these roads. We've been down these roads with Napster and LimeWire and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. One closes down, another one comes up. Look at Pirate Bay when it used to be Kick-Ass Torrents was the main one to go, and then Pirate Bay came up, and before that 100. This has always been the trend on YouTube, on the internet in general is, there's always going to be a saving channel that's going to bring it back to the way it was. It's going to be back to like it was in 2006. It's going to be no rules, no nothing. Anybody can do what they want. We should have known that it was never going to last forever. We also should know if YouTube had acted earlier, we probably wouldn't be dealing with the stringent ramifications that we're starting to feel now. We are paying, yes, for YouTube's problem, but unfortunately as well, YouTube is a privately owned company and owes us nothing. Zero, zilch, nada. Doesn't matter if your channel has 60 million or 60. All it takes is a notification, if they even choose to do that you're gone. They don't owe us anything. You cannot go against them for any of that stuff, because when you signed and agreed to, I should say, all the terms of service was nothing more than a bunch of stuff to protect YouTube. They look after themselves in exchange to give us a place that we can come up and hopefully it's around for a while. So I also believe in not putting all your eggs in one basket, and I get that, and it is good to try other platforms, but don't think that is your saving grace for getting out of what's happening here, because it's going to be following to the other ones as well. And yes, even BitChute, which is supposed to be a renegade, and I'm just taking that up on one of many like that. It's a temporary fix in my opinion. Now I could be wrong, this is my opinion onto it, but anything else we've ever seen along the internet scale has always ended up that way. At some point somewhere down the road, it was just a temporary fix to be in the exact same problem. Are we booting off of YouTube? Most certainly not. Most certainly not. No intentions of doing that whatsoever. We're here, we're comfortable on this platform, we like this platform, we feel there's a lot of opportunity on this platform, and we feel we understand this platform, and can't just go and grab that and just slide everything over like nothing happened. There's been a lot of negative press about COPPA and a lot of scare tactics. And on the other side too, guys, some of the scare tactics, honestly, are justified. I don't think this should be taken like the other stuff was. For exactly what I said a while ago, there is the possibility of monetary fine. And once money comes into it, it does change everything. A lot of us are not making money that can cover the fines. Secondly, most people are not going to get the $42,500 most likely per video. It's going to go on scales and based on how it was done, the size of the channel. There's going to be all kinds of factors most likely playing into it. As they've already stated, some, they haven't been exactly precise. But it does change it because there's a lot more at stake now. And I'm trying to remember his name now. I'm getting a brain for the lawyer.
Ian Corzin?
Ian Corzin, the lawyer. He did a video where he's saying there should be a third option in there, and YouTube is not placing it, even though the FTC has given them the leeway to do so. He also claims that he got a phone call from somebody at YouTube, confidential, that called him in the middle of the night and told him. Some are debating whether the phone call happened or not. That's neither nor there. I do see his point in what he's talking about. Yes, it does fit into what he's saying. But doesn't that bring up another question of maybe YouTube does not want it there for a reason? I mean, YouTube has been doing a lot to try and clean up this platform. And I think they're well aware of it. I don't see them not wanting to do it. I don't think they did it to be all sneaky and cut everybody out. I think they want to clean this platform up. I think that's gone too far, and by their own doing as well, where they should have stepped in 2012 and that they could have been cleaning a lot of stuff. We wouldn't have near the problems we're going to have now with this new law. But we are where we are. This is our reality, and this is what we have to deal with. So looking back at the past and wanting to change it and complaining about it, missing the glory days, does nobody any good. Zero. You have to look to where we are right now and where we're going in the future if we're going to stay on here. If you look at a lot of what YouTube has done this year, it's been actually attacking sectors, okay? And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, a lot of it gets caught, people get caught in the gray area, and I feel bad for them, and not going to happen to us tomorrow. But that's the way laws are just implemented on YouTube. They keep them gray. There's too many channels with too many variations. It's basically impossible to put anything black and white at this point, because there'll always be somebody able to skirt it. So they leave themselves a lot of leeway to try and cover as much ground. Are they doing good with it? Well, that's in the eye of the beholder. But I do believe in what he said about the loophole. I don't want to call it a loophole. It was an option 3. We're just going to call it that for now. That if you haven't seen the video yet, guys, basically what it is you have your options right now. It's either you're geared towards kids or not geared towards kids. But they brought up stuff like examples like Dude Perfect and that. It would be not geared to adults and kids with some kids themes into it, but it's not like a toddler show. It's not Caillou on YouTube. But it has some elements like in Dude Perfect if they're like shooting each other with Nerf guns and stuff like that, and having challenges. Yes, they're using some stuff that kids use, but it's not. When you look at it, it's not exactly geared towards kids. It's not like the creepy ass Barbie stuff my daughter watches that gives me nightmares. Between that and the Super Chat song. It's but they didn't put it in. And I think they just already are in such a mess, and they want a lot of channels to fade and go away. They want a lot of channels to go further towards the conservative side of what they do in here to force them to understand more. And maybe in some ways they have a point about that in saying that, YouTube has become such a gray mess that if they put in that third option, it offers too much confusion and too many other ways for channels to fall into a trap. So we can sit here and say they're awful, or we can sit here and try and celebrate them on a job well done. I don't think either are going to help us very much. So how can we cash in as adults? Well, when you look at the numbers, and Nixon, you want to do a bit of this because you put together the numbers side, and then we'll talk a bit more about why it's advantageous to be in here. But in short, guys, if you've been on Facebook for a while, you've seen a demographic shift into it. Facebook is not what it was a couple of years ago. Facebook is a completely different bird now, in the fact that it's not like when I was, and my son's 22, he was the one who got into Facebook and got us into it. Now it's my parents into it. They're in their mid-70s. YouTube is going to be taking more and more of a growth spurt in these areas for the simple reason is because of the way they've been clamping down on certain channels is making it more friendly for those demographics. And the numbers don't lie. They are in there. The growth is there. That's exactly, if you read the description, what we were talking about. But we'll talk more about how to implement that in a minute. I guess we'll look at the numbers first, and then we'll go from there. So.
Yeah, and I see some of the conversation in the chat as well here a little bit, and I wanted to introduce our subject today with Destination Chronicles, who said the way I see it, yes, protect ourselves, however, soon there will be vacuum created by exiting creators. We can fill that gap. And as sad as it sounds, and we do feel bad for the channels that are affected, because like Andrew said, there's, who knows? Live streaming can be next, and we could be next, right? But it is business for lots of people. For lots of people, it's passion. We got to use it to our advantage the way we can. So I wanted to start with a question that people asked here. What is different generations? And which one do you belong?
Yes. And it's a good one because a lot of us use these terms but don't really know where we fit into them.
Yeah, that's right. This is a new and adjusted one that has been adjusted this year a little bit here and there. So you can see right away and which year gap you actually are getting into. We're going to be talking a little bit more today about baby boomers and Generation X, and we're going to get into that just in a little bit of moments here. And those are the ones that currently are 38 to 72 year old. That's going to be demographic that we're going to be focusing on the most as advantage of the consequence of COPPA ruling coming up. So let us know in the chat, who are you? Andrew, who are you?
Lucky beach slots. No, I'm a damn millennial.
Well, see, Andrew is Generation X, and I am, millennial.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's great that we share a different decade. That feels good. that's
They did delete the Xillennials, which was there in the middle between Generation X and Millennials, which I would have fallen into, unfortunately. But that's okay. That's okay. Generation X, by the way, is also represented by my favorite Elon Musk, Andrew. So you're sharing it with.
I'm honored.
With Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of people here from Millennials and Generation X as well. Deuces Wild Darcy is first year of Gen X's. That is awesome. And Old Guy on a Bike is a boomer. There you go.
Yep, we got full FDL Seekers Gen X here. Gen X in the house from Damon Warren is also Babylicious TV. Welcome, by the way. Welcome. Exploration is millennial. Is post-millennial millennials good? Ryan Vexo. Well, we'll get into that in a little bit. I know plenty of old fogies that never stop yapping. Oh my God, you guys are too funny.
Well, in fact, why we are and we'll be focusing a little bit more on Gen X and baby boomers is because the latest statistics on YouTube are saying that YouTube's fastest growing demographics is exactly this audience.
That's right.
So not kids, not millennials, not post-millennials. It's baby boomers and Gen Xers are the ones that are growing the fastest as viewers on YouTube. 75% use YouTube to embrace nostalgia. They're looking for the videos that are reminding them of old times. That's probably for boomers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Well, yeah. Generation X as well. I mean, we're heavily set into that like early MTV era and stuff like that. I think I'm showing you stuff lots.
Yes, that's true. Videos that replicate or are about the old TV programming as well, but also like different compilation videos, commercials. That's right.
Stuff like that.
68% use it to stay in the know. So the latest news, like something that you're doing right now. If you are a baby boomer or Gen Xer, you're here because you want to stay in the know about YouTube. And that's part of it, in the know about the world news and world happenings around it. And 73% use it to access how-to content. Lots of people, especially baby boomers, are looking for videos that teach them how to operate different devices, how to do DIY things, and so on and so on. Not only YouTube's viewers are growing as baby boomers and Gen Xers, but also the creators. Why? Because more and more of this generation is getting retired, meaning that more free time is opening up, and people are jumping onto their platforms to share their knowledge and to share what they know about different things, share their life as part of communication. So both viewers and creators.
And even the Gen Xers, because I mean, some of them came into the new lucrative area of tech and are able to retire early. Some of them are now with the first generation to start the idea of working at home, not staying in a place to get their pension.
Yeah.
So they're home more. They have more spare time to watch, even if they're working from home or towards their retirement. They're able to watch as well a lot more than they used to.
That's right. Plus, this generation is familiar with computers, as well. No, it's not completely foreign as the previous generation before baby boomers. So that is playing to their advantage as well. So this is why we are going to be talking about this generation here. Now, first, you probably have noticed that since 2012, Facebook has grown fastest among older generations. And that was the first kind of message to internet in general, that social media is changing and all of the platforms are changing with it. It started with Facebook, now it's YouTube, I'm just guessing. Twitter is next, Instagram afterwards. They kind of grow together with the audience around it. So it definitely changes all throughout. Most likely you're not going to find young audience on Facebook nowadays because, it's all old folks game.
That's right. It's not the place to be. That's why we tell a lot of you guys when you're marketing videos, the go-to for a lot of people is right away Facebook, but it's not, especially in the younger generation. Gaming and any kind of like high energy sports and that is getting less and less the place to be.
Exactly. And that has gone to YouTube as well. And why? Because more and more of Gen Xers and boomers are getting adapted to their devices, to the smartphone, tablet, computers, and so on, and therefore social media. And the more of them are getting into their gadgets, the more easier they are to operate, the more accessible they are price-wise, the more they are getting to use the social media as well. And it is applicable to all of the generation, but even more to these two that we're focusing on today. Why? Because it's just the most rapid increase on all of these fronts that we're talking about.
I just have to go back for a second. Where was it? She wrote it. Pixel P wrote, for once it's a positive to be old, about time. Right? So I had such a laugh at that. That was so odd. You are anything but old, my dear. I wish we all had a tenth of your energy.
So yeah, it is a myth that only millennials love YouTube. The reality is that YouTube watch time continues to grow among older audiences. So therefore, when we talk about COPPA and we shake our heads that most of the content is going to be gone, most of the viewers are going to be gone, it is actually not true. Yes, a big part of YouTube is kids content, one of the biggest one. Still don't know why it is not on YouTube Kids, but that's a different conversation. Also, we talked about that around 89% of 8 to 16-year-olds are actually watching YouTube and not YouTube Kids. But it is still not the biggest growing audience. And it is surprising. The biggest growing audience is actually baby boomers and Gen Xers. And why it is important? Because in these wind of changes, as we talk about, we can figure out what is your audience and how you can take it to your advantage. And we're going to talk about a little bit about their characteristics in between as well, and how you can apply to your videos so you can capture the attention of this ever-growing audience that's, by the way, is also very ad-friendly, which means more revenue for monetized channels.
Above and Beyond Drone says older crowd has time for new tech, most definitely. And remember, guys, I'm 45. And anybody like 45 to 60 in that, we grew up in the first run of tech, of real tech, going back to the Tandy, TRS-80, the VIC-20, all that stuff. It has been a part of our lives. The Atari, the Coleco, all that stuff is part of our growing up process. So it is more ingrained into us than we sometimes give ourselves credit for. The calculators, scientific calculator, I mean, right down to that stuff. Before that, our parents were all kind of turned off to that stuff more, but yeah, it's definitely a different generation growing up with it. Artco, how are you? Great to see you. Great to see everybody here, by the way. Folks, do not forget to hit the like button, tweet it out, tell friends. It really does help out a lot. Mods and everyone, first wave Gen X, we are the bridge generation in terms of having to learn the old technology and the new stuff. I like that. MS Full Roller Sierra. I like that a lot. Hey there, Francis. How are you? Welcome. And what the paranormal is in the house. Great to see you as well. Guys, we're talking about how we can get benefits from COPPA. We've heard all the negatives, and we're going to be talking about the positives tonight and how we can work in our favor. Hey there, JD Knight. How are you?
Let's dive into the characteristics a little bit. This is based on the U.S. Population, but think about it worldwide as well, because generations in general share their characteristics all along as well. So we have here around 71 million people in U.S. that are baby boomers and around 63 million Generation Xers. And there are different family values, different values and attributes about work, about friendship, about shopping, about the way you can advertise and approach these audiences as well. And this is important to know. Why? Because you actually can see, I hope you know, that you can see in your audience settings what kind of audience is prevalent in your channel. And you can change it if it's something that you're looking for. We're going to talk about that as well. That's only because it shows something else doesn't mean that you can't change it. You actually can change it. So that's important to know as well. So there are different family values between the baby boomers and Generation X, of course, because it stems from different historical events that have happened at the time of their development as young adults. Usually the Generation Xers are more independent, more driven to work, especially women, because that was the time where women in workforce had been more and more emphasized as something new. It was just coming in as something new, comparing to baby boomers, where it was less common at the time. Generation X has more increased divorce rates. There's a redefinition of family values. On the other hand, baby boomers have very strong respect towards elders, lots of children usually in the family, where Generation Xers usually have one or two children at the most in their family. Generation Xers are also very adaptable. On the other hand, baby boomers are very into the strict values and very focused on one kind of type of narrative, one type of value, very conservative in a way of their views. They're very strong on work ethic and loyal to their job, which they share as well with Generation Xers. And you can see that communication mediums is face-to-face radio, TV, print, direct mail, and internet coming up with it as well. And email, mobile, face-to-face, and TV for Generation X, and of course, internet as well. But nevertheless, those are two generations that, although have slight differences in their values, they share a lot of the same characteristics as well. So you can kind of focus on either one of them as your target audience, or you can try and focus on both of them at the same time.
It's the right places. I love this topic. Thank you so much, guys. We're trying to we want to give it a different spin. And Xenia worked really hard the last week, because we've been talking about this for the last 2 weeks. It's been kind of, it didn't first start off with COPPA, but then it found a way to work, that it worked well with COPPA and kind of followed through because of all the negativity that's going on. And like I say, guys, rightfully so in a lot of it. We do not want to take away the importance of what it does to a lot of channels. Just that there's some other ways to look at it as well. That's another part of it to keep in mind. So we got everything got messed up here.
Yeah, that's okay. There's nothing else for you to show. I just have here different stuff. Now, the difference in the way you approach your audience, if it's Generation Xers or Boomers, are as well in the way you talk to them. For example, the Boomers like more fact-based numbers, like something that we're sharing with you now. More numbers, more fact-based, hard evidence. On the other hand, Gen Xers like more visual tools, but also more practical examples, practical applications of the things you want to teach them or the things you want to show them. So, for example, if you're selling something or you are showing your content, you might think the way you want to spruce it up, so to say. If you maybe want to put some graphics, infographics in, which would be more adapted to baby boomers, or you want to show hands-on how to do something in your video, which would be more appealing to Generation Xers then. Yeah, so that's in short.
John Isabella, I don't know my generation. I was born in 1976, so you fall the same as me into Generation X, so I was 74, so...
Yeah.
So that's why I love your channel. You always have the facts to back up what you say. By the way, Pixelpia, I was working. Oh, we almost closed down last night, so that's why I don't get into Jim's stream as much, video calling show. I heard what you said about us. That was really kind of you. I wanted to say thank you earlier, and I got sidetracked. But about us and how we do our show and that really meant a lot. Thank you so very much for that. Joe Z is in the house. How are you? Great to see you. Great to see you.
Now, we're talking from our own experience here as well, and there are two instances I want you to listen to of our own experience, how we dealt with window changes and how you can change an audience. Some of you might heard one or both, or maybe none of these stories, but nevertheless, it's something to think about and also hopefully work for you as motivation and inspiration to work and adapt in these window changes, because there is always change. No matter where it is, this time it's on YouTube, but there is always change, and you got to learn to adapt with it, especially in these times when changes, like, it's just constantly something that is new, and you have to adapt to it. So maybe Andrew can tell about how we adapted to apocalypse.
Yeah, I was going to say before, Lincoln, by the way, great to see you, buddy. Hope all is well. Jerry's in the house, Suburban BBQ. Fantastic to see you all. Some of you guys have heard me say it already, but I am going to say this because this is where it all came from, guys. I used to work for a very big company, a very big music company in the mid 2000s when we got ready. A lot of us remember the crash of 2008. A lot of stores were terrified. Online sales were starting to become very prevalent for the first time. All brick and mortar stores were really having to tackle that head on. Music had kind of had a bit of a delay in musical instruments, but that was coming in full force. Costco was beginning for the first time to sell name brand lower end kits for drums, amplifiers, etc. In Canada, we had 743 stores, if I remember right. And on a daily basis, and that's what reminds me a lot of our chat here, I would do the same thing because I was in promotions and marketing. Not only did I work a bit with all this stuff, but I was also more accessible than some of the other ones to get a hold of. And I would get these people, these stores coming in freaking out, calling me. I don't know what to do. I'm going to be ruined. I've been in business for 38 years. I don't know what to do. I cannot compete with what they're doing. I cannot sell as low as they're selling. They're cutting me out. My son's going to university in 2 years. I don't know what to do. I mean, we're talking about our channels right now. Most of us here are not relying on our channels for our day-to-day income. This is their livelihood and their legacy and their passion all mixed into one. And I'm not going to lie, it's a hard thing to listen to because you know what? Some of them you talk to, and honestly, it's the same as in here. Some talk about, you know, it's just not going to end up working out in the end. But I used to tell them, okay, you can't compete with the instruments the way they're selling them. All right. So say father buys a guitar from Costco for his kid for Christmas. It's usually the crappiest one at the bottom. Either the kid's going to hate it and never play again, which does suck because you lose a sale, or they actually might be interested into it. As soon as the strings go, most likely they bought it at Costco and nobody in the family knows how to play. Therefore, they don't even know how to put on a set of strings. And that's where you start to step in. And you start filling the void that they can't fill. Instead of worrying about what you can't compete against, worry about where you can fit in. Worry about where you can succeed. Find where you can shine in all of this mess. And then a lot of money, like anything else in any kind of business, a lot of the money is from the accessories. And then there's no exception with music. That's where a lot more markup is. The string, picks, capos, all that stuff. Get them ready and get them into that stuff and show them everything else that they need that they can't get at Costco or, quickly online because they don't understand. Start getting them on that part. If they bought a guitar online, it's a good one. Hit them up on all the accessories. Get them up on the service. Same as gas stations that have full service versus self-service. Become that full service. Do all the things that online store can't do for them. Because otherwise, if you just keep sitting around and saying, I'm screwed, you are screwed. There's no other way around it. Every time you just sit around and worry about what's holding you back or what the other one's doing or what's going on, you're not dealing with the problem at hand. It's not going to fix it by doing that. It's just a distraction from it. And the problem continues to get worse and worse. And this is a really great example tonight with what we're talking about with COPPA. This is something Xenia and I have really adopted heavily, this kind of mentality into the way we do our channel. Optimist versus pessimist. Opportunity versus victim. You have control over your situation more than you know. I love that, Bearded Picker. I absolutely love that. Very well said. And I'm talking a little bit harsh, guys, but really it is time for a bit of a harsh message because that's what's going to happen. And someone going to use COPPA as just another reason to bail out of the YouTube. And if you want to leave YouTube and you don't want to let go, I get that. And if you think it's gotten too much that it's not worth it anymore, I get that as well. I don't know. But if you make sure it's what you really want to do. Because otherwise, if you're doing it just for the sake of feeling beat up by COPPA or whatever, apocalypses are going on, all the other rules and regulations, you're basically giving into it. You're letting that take you down. It can only fully take you down if you let it take you down. And at least if you fought your way through it and it still doesn't work, at least you gave it your best. You can walk out feeling the victor of it all. And that's something because on your next venture, you'll not feel like you're starting over from scratch. You'll have the confidence behind it to start something new. One was demographic, and what was the other one you wanted to talk about? Sorry.
Us using advantage of the first apocalypse, the wind of change.
Yes, we had our channel, and we had done 2 videos. Our first 2, you can see them. Go to videos, search by oldest. This channel, as we've always said, was to push our business. I do videography. She does photography. She was looking after Instagram. I was doing YouTube. I put up 2 videos. They got some traction at first, but I had to put them in a ton of blogs and push, and I finally got fed up enough. Said to hell with it. Then came Peter McKinnon, who I was just happened to start watching not that long before, maybe 2-3 months. It wasn't like we haven't followed him for very long. And he did a video talking about how much his first check was from YouTube and talking about this apocalypse and blah, blah, blah. Didn't know anything about it. Really didn't know nothing about it. We weren't creating on here. No interest into it. Done. The channel was just going to fade away. And that's where that mentality I was talking about earlier first popped in my head, because I went to Xenia and said, you know, there is some opportunity in all of this. Because I honestly believe in business and anything else you do in life is like a wildfire. And wildfires are, we'll bring it back to that music company at the time, and although there was stores that closed, unfortunately. But it is like a wildfire, and unfortunately a wildfire the benefit of the wildfire, when it's not around houses, don't get me wrong, is to go through and clean out the underbrush and make room for new trees to grow. Some of the trees out west are heavily dependent on those fires to spread seeds across, to germinate all those parts of it. And that's going to happen in business. That's what happened with the economic crash in 2008. Some people unfortunately lost a lot, but a lot of people did gain. And that same music companies, it just keeps coming back to the example, they actually were distributors, gigantic company. They started buying up the companies that were manufacturing what they distributed. They came out of the crash double the size, which was already an astonishingly sized company, almost 400,000 square feet here in Montreal. You got to think ahead on here, and you got to play. It's like a game of poker. You're just stacking the deck, because nobody knows what tomorrow's going to bring, but neither does life and everything you do. You just got to have some foresight into it to find ways to make things work in your manner. So we did that when Peter McKinnon did that video. Looked at the situation. Wow, this is crazy. I'm not surprised. There's a lot of channels that were going way too far. YouTube hadn't dealt with them. It finally blew up, and now they're in cleanup mode, which means a lot of channels are probably going to get wiped. So with that said, that means new opportunity for somebody else to come in and start getting some notice, possibly. Like I said, it's not written in stone, but it's an opportunity nonetheless. So that's how it was played, and that's how we started doing it. And one thing about the apocalypse, for as bad or worse it was easier to promote yourself at the beginning compared to what it was before, because that was really frowned upon. It was very hard to do. Certain places did it, but not as much. So there was all kinds of opportunity around it. But we were heavily in the belief that if we're going to do it, we got to keep up good content. Otherwise, people are not going to stay. So it's not just you got to take advantage of it from all sides and make sure you have a viable product that people are looking for. Okay, guys? If people aren't looking for it, all the opportunities in the world are going to come around. It's not going to change squat. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. And we always got to be honest with ourselves. And we've had to change things that just weren't working on our channel. You got to really be the same as a business. If you have 25 products on the shelf and 4 of them are just not moving and sitting there, can't blame the customers for not coming in and buying it. Either you're not letting them know it's there, or they just don't want it, and it's time to change that product to suit what people are looking for. So with that said, that's how we went out into YouTube. We kept that philosophy running through us, that there can be opportunity in this if we just listen to what people want and try and tailor it as much as they can. But remember, you can't listen to everybody, and that's a very big pitfall that falls into it, because you get side, well, I don't like the way they're doing it. I like the way they're doing it. You're not for everybody. I know this is going a bit off topic, but I just want to put that. Always remember, guys, you're not for everybody on here. Nobody is. Nobody is. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. And you got to think of even the greatest shows of all time, Seinfeld and all those ones. My father despised Seinfeld. My neighbor despised Seinfeld. My friend despised Seinfeld. Even though many, many millions love them. That's just the way it is on here. You cannot please everybody, and you can't have people steering you through all this as well. You really got to be fixated on a point where you want to take your channel, where you want to go. Never be reactionary on here. You need a 3-6 month plan with be versatile within those guidelines, though. But you need somewhere to go. You can't. The old expression with driving, you can't stare at the road, or you're going to be waving back and forth. No soup for you. That's right. That's right, Mike. That is so true. I love that line. You got to be looking ahead. You got to know what you want to do in here. Otherwise, it has no chance of going through it. And when things come up like COPPA, you really got to be aware of what your product is, because if you're not, most likely you're falling into a mess, a big mess. And now this time, for the first time in YouTube, it's coming down to the possibility of you could be hit with some sort of monetary fine. So it does up the game. So once again, I never ever want to downplay what COPPA is. And that's why we want to tread this very carefully, because there is a big part of this that needs to be taken very seriously, guys. But there is also a way of understanding it, taking it seriously like that. You can also then understand it enough to work around it and find a way to make it work for you. The other demographic, I'm assuming, is about women?
Yep.
All right, I'll let you tell that one.
Well, yeah, so as you heard, we just took the bull by the horns, so to say, and took advantage of the biggest change at the time on YouTube. And now the next change was a little bit more personal on a channel level, because we went from cinematics to live streams. As some of you know, as part of celebration of 1,000 subscribers, we went live, because you only could go live if you had 1,000 subscribers all across the board, no matter mobile or laptop. So we went live, and well, I don't know how it happened, but we have been live ever since, and we are not posting cinematics on anymore. Well, when we did that, our demographics changed drastically. We went from around the average at the time, which was around 70-30, 60-40 with a male and female audience. We went to almost 5% women, 95% men, right when we started doing the live streams, which meant women weren't enjoying the live streams. Or, as I joke, they just weren't enjoying that I was there. I don't know. They finally realized there were two of us. So in order to keep up to the average viewer of YouTube, because that's what YouTube likes, that's what ad rates likes, that's what advertisers like, and so on, we wanted to get it back to that 70-30, 60-40. Now it's more 50-50 of the latest statistics, but nevertheless. So now we could have jumped into right away, change happened, well, let's just push out the content that is all geared for women, do some beauty channels right away, the beauty reviews, and get all the women up here, But that would have been a mistake. Why? Because it would be too fast, too drastic, and we would deter all the male audience at the same time. So that would work completely the opposite way than intended. Instead, we took a good 3-4 months slowly adjusting the content, slowly changing some things that we were doing ourselves during the live stream, engaging more people as guests at the time that we had, because we had interviews every day, guests that would adhere to both female and male audience. And in time, in around 3-4 months, we did actually steered it back to that 60-40 percentage that was the average population of male-female audience on YouTube. It was a huge change. We could have left it that way as it was, but we consciously made a decision to make the change and to work slowly, like guiding that ship through the iceberg-filled ocean, slowly, 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 without any harsh moves. That is just to say to you that we do understand the changes. We know how it feels. This COPPA might not directly affect all of our channel the way maybe some of you guys are, especially those that are kid-oriented, are made for kids, or maybe are somewhere in the middle. But we do share the same experience, just in a little bit different time frame, a little bit different wrapping, so to say. You can change. You just have to adjust.
It's the want to do it. And nothing's ever easy and exactly. You never steer a ship like you do a speedboat. It's maneuvering that gets you where you gotta go. Reactionary is when you cut the wheel, and you've seen a ship when it cuts the wheel, what usually happens. It's not pretty. So definitely take your time with it, but start planning more towards where your channel is leading to. Hello, Queen Helen Casey. How are you? Great to see you. I am 100% male right now to appeal to women. Maybe I should need to wear my kilt. More when camping. Old guy on a bike, that could do it. That could do it. Josie, it is now official. I'm a boomer. Puša Studios has the info. LOL. Oh my God. Do you know the percentage of YT consumers between men and women? Pixel Pia is asking. I'm sorry, hi to Paul Peck and ZZ Toppling. Great to see you.
The latest research actually shows that it's closer to 50-50 right now. So it is kind of going the other way around. It's also in part because one of the biggest categories watched by female is beauty, and beauty category is blowing up like crazy. So therefore, it's tipping the scales as well. That's not to say that women are not watching any other content, but according to statistics, it is around 50-50 right now.
Great to see all you guys. Crap, my dad makes me watch. Great to see you. I hope you're doing fantastic. Dis Our Dream. We are Disney content, but we are geared towards adult. There's a lot of gray area in that one. You're going to have to be very, very, very careful on how you proceed through it, because that can actually work detrimentally against you because of the topics, but what you're discussing, there's no definitive answer on how this is all going to play out right now. No, we cannot help you, but no asking for support in any way, shape, or form. There we go. The next time you'll be removed. Please, no asking for support. Please respect the fellow creators. Talk to them. They're great people. Was it always called Puša Studios? It sure was. That's actually still the name of our business. We still do it here, and this channel was reflected. So that's what we start off as first. And by the time if we had known we were going to become a live stream channel, we would have definitely went with a different name. Not that I'm embarrassed of or anything. It would have been more in the live area and stuff like that, but it happens. But you know what? It actually helped us a lot. And we got a lot of exposure in live streams and stuff like that of people trying to pronounce our last name, because they would spend like 2 to 5 minutes onto it. Pusa, Pusa, and everybody's looking at you, so it actually helped. Can we say Paul Peck's new milestone? Definitely. Where is Paul? What is he at?
Vipers, hello and welcome here.
There we go. Let me see here. Let me get Paul Peck up. Oh, he's getting close to it. He's getting there. Okay, I thought he had passed it already. Sorry about that.
Jim Apple, hello.
Hey, how are you?
Speaking of beauty, here I am.
That's right. And don't you forget it for sure. Great to have you all in, guys. Please don't forget to hit the like button, tweet it out, tell friends, all that good stuff, guys. Remember, we're all in it together. I want to catch on to something else, though, guys, while we're here. That's kind of the main part of this. This is all tying in together. And that is the title, why it says by being an adult. By all the things that COPPA is doing right now is geared towards the marketing towards kids. But there's also going to be a big gray area. And this has nothing, though, tonight to do with anybody that's in any kind of hobby groups, okay? Because I feel bad. That is going to be such a gray area for so many. And us from the get-go understand that's not a kids channel. RC control cars, drones, collectors of Funko Pops, all that stuff. We get it 100%. But it is going to be a tricky maneuver going into YouTube until everything gets settled down and you get more of an idea of where the rules are going to land. But what I want to talk about more tonight is playing off the strengths of it. And since they're going after Kids Channel so much, our channel, since we started it, I guess is a little bit of a cat out of the bag. I don't think I've ever really said this before, but I'm going to let you know a little secret. What we were talking about tonight and about gearing our channel and where we want to go, this was part of it in the beginning. Xenia and I quickly found that, like, once we got into like getting this channel up and pushed again when that apocalypse kicked in, we already had kind of a feeling that this was the beginning of many tremors and earthquakes to come, if you will. Now, I know some people have said, Puša Studios is too strict, they do this, they do that, and they're right, actually, in some ways. They really are. But that was always our feeling, that there was going to be a lot more to come, and that to stay in the fringe area was not going to be of much help to us. if we wanted any kind of longevity on here. We also knew quickly where we wanted to fit into and what we wanted to be on here. And something that was really important to us was to be our age. I'm 45, Ksenia's 35, and I think it's safe to say we're both, for the most part, content in the ages and where we are in the timeline of life. And that was what we wanted to use as our strength to be on here. Because I feel that it's easier to be you the more you bring what you have in life to here. Now, we don't give out every secret in our life. We don't share every little detail. And there's also a reason why for that as well. A, we don't feel comfortable with doing it. But our demographic was heavily, and still pretty much heavily, we do very well between the 35 to 55, but we do quite well in 25 as well. Most of our viewership is in that age of working hard, not a lot of time for BS, and just need somewhere to learn, as Xenia was showing you the statistics on obtaining information, but without it feeling too rigid. Without it being like, all right, now we're gonna take a look at. They don't want that. But they also don't want, all right, guys, we're going to go tonight, and oh my God, we're going to go parachuting in the morning, and then we're going to climb a mountain in the afternoon. They're not looking for that from us. And we can't give them that. Our lives are not exciting enough for that. So it was a way that we could package it to stay for a long period of time, because we were hoping with the viewership we were attracting that some of them would want to stay with us for a while and not just be on the fringe. There's more spikes that come with dealing with a younger audience. That is a given. I'm not talking 13 under. I'm talking 21 and under, especially, and stuff like that. But it's also based on trends, and it's very fast to go up and go away, go fast and go away, be up and then irrelevant the next day. That's why we limited the hijinks that went on here. That's why we kind of were more stern on having some sort of organization here. Because you guys heard us say many times before, I do truly treat our live stream like a bar. And there's bars for everybody. Some bars are dive bars. Some bars are very hoity-toity bars. Some are in the middle. Some are for the Sanka set-down town crowd. It's very important to keep your channel on some sort of course. And what we did was work on a course that demographic that I just mentioned a minute ago, for the most part, would be happy being in here, enjoying what we do. If you get what I'm saying, that's where you can't be everything to everybody. And for us, we felt the best longevity for our channel and the best for us to be as much of us as possible on here and do something productive. We had to set those guidelines for us, which also in that area tends to protect you a lot from most of the things that can happen on YouTube. Because anything with kids, you know, can go bad really fast. Really, really, really fast. So that's why we didn't go in that area. That's why we don't bring our kids on much. That's our reasons for it. And everybody's welcome to their own opinion. But this is not something that just came up because of what's going on right now with COPPA. This is something we've been doing for a long time now and building up towards it. Because if you look at most of the apocalypses and everything that's going on now, we've kind of been exempt from it for the most part. Now, maybe tomorrow there's a fringe we might. Nothing is guaranteed on here. Zero. But being the adult onto it means you have such a huge market of people that are working, that are mid through their career, 3/4 of the way through their career, or early retirement. And I'm seeing channels, Widely Sailing was in here a while ago. I don't know if they're still here. I mean, those guys are, they're doing something on there that's going to appeal to that generation so well. So well. And tons of times, all these channels, you know, freshly retired, they've sold the house, they're traveling, whether it's RVing across the United States or sailing around the world or visiting destinations or planning for retirement. And they're 3/4 of the way into it and sharing, you know, the lead up to their life as empty nesters and things like that. Does very well because people can relate. Not everybody needs the parachuting story to happen every time they turn a video. A lot of that audience is looking more to feel somewhere comfortable, that's engaging without being in their face, without being so trendy that they feel left out of the conversation. And if you play COPPA and work around it, there's so many opportunities in there to do that. By being an adult. Not going to the lowest common denominator, but just by being you in your life and where you are at that time. People more than ever are not connected to many people outside of their work and stuff like that. They have a very limited circle, and there's something very comforting about the idea of going to where everybody knows your name, for lack of a better term. That's why Cheers was so important to so many people. Turn yourself into Cheers. Let your audience feel that they belong, that you understand them, that you're on the same path as them, and not nowhere near. Yes, for some family channels that their kids are older, it's a bit different. For some senior channels, they'll not be able to bring on the grandkids as much, but that's okay. Your life is interesting just the way it is, and the odd time you bring on the grandkids because they want to come on and you're doing something together, then just put it as marked for kids and move on to the next video. It won't ruin you. You can play on the strengths of that, because a lot of channels are going to go away for this. The same as happened with Adpocalypse, and I think even more are going to go away. And they're going to run to DLive, they're going to run to BitChute, they're going to run to everywhere under the sun. But they can't keep running for it because COPPA is internet-wide, not platform-wide. It's just YouTube is getting the first taste of it. It is going around, guys. So, you have choices. You have a choice to either let it ruin your channel, or work around it and come up with something really spectacular. Circumvent it. Don't go in the gray zone though if you're going to do it. You're just making your life. Too many people try to do that and dip their feet in the water, and then they wonder why they get wet. Don't dip it in the water to begin with. There's lots of room without having to go into this gray area. I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. I really don't. I have no interest in fooling around with COPPA. I'm hoping for the kids channels that's specifically geared to kids who do good content, do very well over on YouTube Kids, and they're set up and they actually get somewhere down the line, they work out deals and start really giving them some decent money so they can create some really great content for what they do over there. I don't want them to go away. I do believe YouTube Kids should have been here years ago. There should be a separation between the two, as a parent and as a creator. And now I want to work around it and make it work the best for us, the same as we've always done. But by the way we've worked our channel a long time ago, that's why COPPA is not such a direct threat into what we do. There's a lot of you out there, I feel sometimes I feel like you don't have a voice in what you do, and it's a lot from watching bigger YouTubers going nuts and, oh my god, look at me, I'm skiing with a llama across the Andes. I mean, that stuff is so staged, guys. You don't need to go to the ends of the earth to do it. YouTubers have a very lonely life, most of the big ones, even the ones that do that, because that's mostly manufactured. They go and do it. They're not like hiring a stunt double, but it's not like it's their everyday. Guitar players in the 80s, they were all virtuosos, and you know, all the girls loved them and the long hair, and they all did this and that. They were the biggest nerds in school, every one of them. They had no social life. How could you become that much of a virtuoso in guitar if you're going out 6 nights a week? They didn't go out 6 nights a week. They were nerds locked up in their room. And then when they finally made it that their band was going somewhere, the record company would get in what do you call it, to do makeup and all that.
Artist?
Yeah, no, but they come in and do their clothing, their hair, and do a makeover onto them and say, there, now they look like they should for on stage. It's the same with YouTubers, guys. But there's a lot to be said for what happens in your life, the way you look at things, the way you look at the world, and the way you can bring that into your videos and or live streams. Because, guys, you got to remember something. We've seen a lot of these things happen this year, and I don't buy for a second this is the worst and then it's all over with and things are going to go back to the way. Thank you, a stylist. That was the word I was looking for. Thank you so very much, Pixelpia. It's not over by a long shot. I mean, we don't have a crystal ball. I don't think it is for a second. I think there's lots more crackdowns to come. And if we stay in this part where we are right now, that's just opening up more and more opportunity. Not that we mean we have to be, because there's this misconception that, if you go along with the stuff that YouTube wants, you're going to be bland and nothing to offer, and it's going to be boring. And I don't buy that. I think that's kind of a cop-out on that one. Cop-out on COPPA, there you go. But we can make it interesting. It just doesn't have to be so extreme. And having kids out of our videos is not changing us at all. We have a couple of live streams with our kids where we were in the car on vacation and stuff like that. We'll mark them as kid-friendly, and that will be the end of it. For those that said sorry, I said hi, so hi, sorry, okay. But just keep that in mind, guys. There's a lot of opportunity always on YouTube, and I find these things kind of bring everybody down and feel like, what's the point anymore? Well, there's a ton of point because there's a ton of channels not going to be affected in the end. And a lot of them have a couple of videos that will have to be dealt with, and then it's business as usual. And hopefully it will make us better, mindful creators. The good part of when all these things come up is, you know what, it gets people thinking about this platform and understanding it better, because that's lost a lot. It's a lot of just come on, put stuff up, see what sticks, get fed up, and usually either leave or troll or get discouraged. There's a lot of other options that can happen here. It doesn't have to be that way. It's really only that way if you let it be that way. So I think it's a great time for some great channels to really stand out from the crowd and really get some real exposure. So why not harness that if you want to be on here? If you don't want to be on here and you find it too draining and it's just not worth it anymore, I'm the first one to cheer you on. Nobody should be on here miserable, because guess what? If it's miserable on here for you, you're going to just be here making it miserable for a lot of other people. That's the same as in a warehouse, same as in an office, etc., etc. It's always the same story. Why do something if you're miserable at it? And getting mad at YouTube and dragging on for 2 years yourself is not helping you in any shape or form. But we've always just kind of chose to get mad, and we do get fed up with some stuff sometimes that happens on here. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound like we're like brandishing halos or anything like that. But then you got to make a decision after. Am I going to keep on doing this or not? Am I or am I not? And if you are, you can sit there, and if all you decide you're going to do it, but all you're going to do is complain about the system all the time and how much it's screwing you, you're not dealing with the problem. So that's definitely not going to help any. You have to just sit there and say, okay, these are the parameters I have to work with on YouTube. Where do I fit in, and do I scale these? Do I have to make changes, or is that too much changes? It's going to kill my channel and I don't feel creative anymore? And then once again, you get your answer on whether it's worth it or not. So my research involves watching Puša Studios from beginning to end. Brian G. Johnson, the Nimmons. If you're not going to do your homework in one way or another, maybe this isn't for you. Well, first of all, thank you so very much, No Man Unbroken, for including us on that list. Very honored. And it is true. It really is, guys. I want to understand what I'm on. I don't want to lose a channel because I had no idea what happened. And it can happen by times. But for the most part, I want to know. I want to know. I don't want to just make stuff and see where it sticks. I don't want to see, oh, well, we'll try this and see if they take my channel down, if they take my video down. I don't want to piss it away like that. Nor would I want to in my business. Would I want to just, oh, well, Xenia, tomorrow we're going to start filming ducks. You know, well, does it pay any? I don't know, but we're going to try it and see what happens. I don't want to do that. I want to know where I stand. I want to have some idea. We don't have, like, once again, that crystal ball, but at least I want to know somewhere where I'm going. And part of it is knowing, and unfortunately it takes stuff like adpocalypses and COPPA and all that stuff for a lot of us to really open our eyes and start looking back to see what parameters of YouTube we can work through. Some are scared about COPPA, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. I won't take it away from them. I understand completely why they are, and I'd be too. And there's also ones that are terrified of COPPA that have no need to be. There's no reason for it whatsoever. So you have to understand the platform, you have to understand what you're working with, And does your channel fit within those guidelines? If they don't, can I manage them through? But there's a whole world of opportunity for doing stuff on here, guys. And it clears out some of the clutter, because yes, a lot are going to get fed up and say, oh, I'm going to D-Live, I'm going here, I'm going there. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it opens up more opportunity for us. It is still a pretty wide scale, guys. They are going a lot. I know, for instance, with the hunting channels, it bothered me a lot. They got so screwed over, even when we're talking about gun safety and stuff like that. We're also getting hit and all those things. Now with the new eating rules, like a lot of channels that are talking about health eating can even get hit into it. There's always going to be that blowback into it. But there is still a lot of leeway to work with. It's not completely dead. I know some like to talk like it's done and over, and unless you just sit there and stare at the camera, you're gonna get hit. I mean, that's a little extreme. It's a little extreme. So, not to blow it too far out of the water. Welcome to everybody, by the way, the Stroll Life. How are you? Great to see you. I see Ian's in the Stillwater Nation. Great to see you. And Venture, welcome. Just as many have had career decisions to make. Stay on current job, move or change professions. This is no different. Very well. I am a stickler for taking everything that's ever happened to YouTube and comparing it to a real world scenario. Because it does. There's no difference in it than here, guys. There's no difference. I don't consider our channel any different than if we had a brick and mortar shop. I would be looking at things the same way. Just Pamela, how are you? Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic.
That's right, and it's ever changing. It is an economy where you have to diversify and being able to adapt very quickly. It's just how it is, no matter where you are, including YouTube. As for what Dakota and family was saying as well, and what many people forget that are creators here, that COPPA applies not only to YouTube, but all internet. We only talk about YouTube because we're creators here, but in fact, it is not a rule about YouTube. It is rule about internet.
Yeah.
And it only brings YouTube to the forefront because they happen to have their settlement of $170 million at the same time when they were discussing and reviewing COPPA. But it will apply to all internet. It will be just to each platform separately how they are dealing with it. So jumping to other platforms and not necessarily means right away that you're going to be escaping the new law. You have to really see the small print and see how they are dealing with that, because it applies to them as well, no matter if it's TikTok, BitChute, or whatever else you want to try, Now, you can try though, and it is not a bad thing to try. It is a good thing to diversify and expand your reach. Is also it's a good way to connect with your viewers outside of YouTube too, just in case something happens with YouTube, for example, like this, or when it goes down. We had our fair share of YouTube shutting down, and we had to jump on Twitter because we couldn't go live here, and then Twitter shut down, and we had to jump on Instagram and do live there all in the same night. Now, we did have those platforms already there. If we wouldn't have them, there would be no way for us to get in touch with our viewers. So it's always good to have a little bit here and there and to have that diversification just in case something happens. You don't have to build from scratch and right from zero, somewhere else. It does take a little bit more slower growth, maybe in a way, but at the same time, it's for a long run. Then it is more stable, so to say. So it's like making an investment, with a high risk and possibly good payoff, but also possibly quite down low risk of losing everything, or it's a more stable investment, and what you're getting back, or at least you can anticipate some of the changes and what you're getting back from it. Common sense, as Elizabeth says, sounds so delicious.
I've seen the writing, but I didn't know what you guys were talking about.
Yes, Deacon was saying about turkey, and I suggested the recipe from your father.
Yeah. Yes, the ribs are spectacular. They really are. I cannot brag them things up enough. Best decision he ever made in his life. They're expensive to cover the bottom of a roasting pan with beef ribs, but well worth it in every sense of the word. So, steering. One of the things we are proud of is steering other parents of autistic kids to the right resources. Exactly, and that's the thing. it's so many channels get hit when they're doing the right thing on here. Look at us even talking about the platform. Tonight, I'm shocked that we were still monetized. I haven't gone to look to see if we are lately. So many things that people, especially in mental health and stuff like that, that discuss so many great things, get caught in the crossfire in these. And that's the saddest part of this whole mess. And that was the same with all the other changes before. Is it's got no understanding of the nuances between helping people and somebody running a troll channel and saying negative things about it. It just paints all with the same brush a lot of times. And it's not an easy thing to be on into here. So hats off to you guys for making it work. And I just hope it all keeps going the way it does, because it's going to get harder. Mental health is really on the radar right now. And it's the same as any law, guys. In the end, we're always going to be paying for a very small majority's very stupid decisions. That's the same here on YouTube as it will be anywhere else in life. Most people know not to do this and not to do that, but unfortunately, when you're into the realm of many people together in one area, there's always somebody screwing around with the system, rooting for everybody that's trying to do a good thing on here. So it's to stay ahead of that. That's why I don't know what to say about it, because I mean, I know what you guys are doing, and hats off to you, and I hope it keeps running okay. I really do.
Just a reminder for you to click that like button and share it out if you haven't yet. And if you're new here and you like what you see, subscribe to us. We're on 6 times a week with different information from YouTubers to YouTubers, and our games of Shout Out Wheel and Tuesday Tech Talk coming up tomorrow, Tuesday Tech Talk at 7 p.m., where you can ask all the questions about YouTube you have, and we can all figure them out all together.
Jack Knight Finnegan in the house as well. Great to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing fantastic tonight. Great to have you guys in here, each and every one of you folks. It's been a great conversation so far in that. I hope you guys are getting where we're going with the whole thing. Was it just to Pusa Quake? Let's get you Pusa Quake.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty, let's do it. Let's do Pusa Quake. Here we go. Alrighty, guys, let's crank up that echo for a second. Everybody who hasn't hit that like button, folks, on the count of 3. You ready? Let's hit the like button together. 1, 2, 3. Hit it. Okay, you got foresight. I changed 2 seconds after you started. You guys are awesome,
I
guys.
think they're waiting for me to do that. That's what happens.
No, I'm being honest. I'm waiting for it. It's moving. And if you haven't hit it, guys, please do it. Really, really helps out immensely. You guys are awesome. There we go. Already got. Hoping for the best, expecting the best. We will do the best.
Love that.
Yep.
I love your optimism.
Yep.
Love that. Jack Knight Finnegan is saying you guys should take the replay and make it into podcast, because this is interesting to hear after as well. Thank you.
Thank you so very
We
much.
have that in plans for a good year now.
Yeah.
We only wish there would be more hours in a day to do everything that we want to do.
Do appreciate it.
But we do appreciate that. Thank you.
The feedback helps a lot on that stuff, so thank you so very much.
We have a pretty good rate of replay.
I did, Josie.
Compared to, on average, the live streams do have. So we are very proud of that, but also very thankful for you guys to listening to our live streams afterwards, after they have been published as well. So.
And like we say, guys, you can find a lot of them on our homepage on the YouTube Breaking News Tips and Guidelines. They're all now on a playlist. Something I'm glad we got done now, so it's easier to find. And then also you can go down to our Tech Talk Tuesday, where we have the topic of the day, plus then all the general conversation as well. So it's coming along. It's coming along. So thank you very much for that. We definitely would like to get them into podcasts as well. That's for sure. So thank you so very much for that. I'm sorry, I got everything all messed up here.
Now, I wanted to remind you that there's still time to sign the creators petition if you haven't done that for COPPA. And there's more than 600,000, I think, as of now, that has signed it. YouTube is a power of numbers. There are millions of us out there that are creators. So although there is a a little chance of change has been made. There's still a chance, and it's always good to hope for it. And it doesn't take much time of your day to sign the petition. Link is in the description down below, as well as in the chat. I just put it here as well. And you can still leave a comment for FTC by December the 9th on their official website. For that, they actually have asked for the input from YouTube creators about the COPPA and how it will affect you, just your personal opinion about it, and what do you think should or should not be changed. If you can do that as well till the December 9th, they have extended their deadline. If you haven't done that, please do. Every little bit helps. You think, what will I do? What will I change? Well, you never know. We can only try. It's not going to get worse from us doing it. It can either not change at all or maybe change something. So let's stand in it together and try to do something.
The main thing is, guys, you get a chance to say your piece onto it, and it also shows that there is an interest to have something done. Whether it does it or not, the main thing is the option's there. It doesn't take very long, so it's definitely something that everybody should do. The more, at least, the better the chance that something may be done. It's not guaranteed, but it's definitely not going to happen if nobody does. And there's been a lot of signatures already. It's quite impressive, so let's just hope it continues. Yes, thank you, Nomad Unbroken. Exactly, guys. No sub for sub, no asking for subs, none of that whatsoever. You like what people do, tell them, talk to them about what they do that you like, but please, no asking whatsoever.
I also will be putting the link in the chat for everything you need to know about the most important topics. Those are going to be rotating as they come into and of importance. As Andrew said, all the latest community guidelines, if there are any new updates, copyright guidelines, anything new and burning, so to say, is going to be in that playlist and is already there. So if there is something that you missed on our live streams, that's the ones to go first, because those are going to be probably the most emergency ones, to know about.
So yeah, guys, once again, if anybody's just joined us, what we're talking about tonight is just about being an adult on YouTube. And what that means is not that realizing there's a ton of opportunity within the COPPA guidelines to really take advantage of it and play it in your favor. And it doesn't mean like adult topic, like it doesn't mean 18 plus. Somebody asked a while ago. No, I don't mean that. What I mean is being ourselves. I hate to use the term, but really I mean this in the best way possible. All of us acting our age. There's a ton of benefit into that right now, because there's a lot of us within our age group that's looking to relate with people who are in the same boat, who are doing day-to-day life through it, the struggles, the feelings. Even though we do a live stream, we're not vloggers or anything. I mean, you get to know us over time. You get to see us more, how we act, what we do, how we react to things. And I like to think there's some camaraderie between what we do and that you guys feel that between us, because you're feeling the same way. We don't go over the top and do stuff like that, because you know what? For the majority of our audience does not seem to enjoy that, nor would we enjoy doing that. We maybe sometimes skate down the road of dad jokes a little bit, especially my wife, but nonetheless...
Those would be mom jokes.
Mom jokes, yes, that's right. But nonetheless, we're happy being in the age group we are, and that was the reason why we started our show and did it the way we did it. There was lots of things we could have jumped into and a lot of things we could have put up with, but the times like when COPPA comes up is the reason why we never did stuff like that. Because we never seen it as beneficial to our channel, we never seen it beneficial to our growth, and more or less thought it would be a great way to lose big shifts in audience. There's already... The further you go into different areas, the more volatile they become. That's why for us, that 25 to 55 was the right line for us for what we do, what we feel comfortable doing, to walk along. And there's tons of them. Grimes Finds is a great channel, an example of that, doing the Storage Wars thing. And they're very good at it. Not Storage Wars, sorry, I shouldn't compare them directly to it, but doing lockers and stuff like that, like you see on Storage Wars. Their channel is growing immensely. Why? They're appealing to that audience. They're walking that line. But they're exciting. They're fun. It doesn't need to be... There's this misconception that by doing that, you're going to have to be as boring as can be, as plain, as stale as humanly possible. And that's not the truth. That's a misconception. That's grandstanding on the idea for YouTube and what it is. I understand some people want to do that, and I understand why why they feel like their wings have been clipped on here then because of that, if that's the option that they're choosing. Sorry guys, I didn't realize I had that up there for so long. There's a lot of opportunity in here, guys, and you got to play it into your favor. There's a lot that you can do in here. There's a lot to grow, and there'll be a lot of channels going, unfortunately, and you can take advantage of those spots to maybe get some new boost, some new life, some new interest into what you do as well. But I gotta stress this, folks, it's gotta be also, your channel's gotta be looking at it as well, and you keep wanting to get it better and better and better. Production is becoming more and more important onto it. Editing, lighting, etc, 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 audio. You do not need $10,000 worth of stuff. That is not necessary whatsoever. There's a lot of ways to save money. You can do a lot of great things on here, and start looking at your content more as the viewer in that demographic that you want to attract. Don't be making content that's going to appeal to an 18-year-old when you're wanting to attract a 35-year-old. I mean, you're defeating the purpose. It would be like having a flower shop, but you're selling chainsaws. It really is as simple as that. You have to know your audience, know what they want, and work with them in seeing what's going to attract them the most. What do they most want to see? What are they there the most for? And deal with that. Oh, God, okay, our chat was frozen up for a minute. I was starting to get kind of concerned. So, yeah. There's a real creative side that could really burst out of this, and your channel could take a whole new life thanks to COPPA. That's the truth. It might sound like you're playing in the box, but I mean, you didn't make these rules. YouTube has set these guidelines. Actually, the FTC has set these guidelines, these ones here, and YouTube is in them. So, you know, I only use freeware and a green blank. Yeah, but your channel is fantastic, man. That's what I mean. That's a great example of it. A really great example, guys. Have you ever seen Still Winter Nation? He's a fantastic channel. Fantastic. And there you go. He's not breaking the bank. Yes, we bought some new equipment, but I mean, we did our first 60 shows with the Rode mic that came off my camera, clipped onto a set of Allen keys. We started buying stuff over time, and I mean, we could have went out and went nuts onto the stuff, but we don't need it. We want what we needed in a little bit of time. I watch a YouTuber that has 60K subs and has used a phone for video for 4 years. That's exactly the case. But why I'm saying that is some are, we gotta, guys, there's some that just gotta push up your quality of what you're doing. Doesn't mean by buying stuff, just means by learning more and more and honing your skills onto it. Whether it's thumbnails, banners, video, about sections, all those things play into it. If you really want to take advantage of this time, like to really get the maximum push from it, you got to have stuff out there that is commercially viable to what people want to watch. And once again, it doesn't mean you have to look like Discovery Channel. You see what Ian just wrote, the Still Winter Nation. One of my favorite channels. Some have been here already. They're probably like, oh, I know what channel he's going to bring up. But I'll always sing his praises. I think if this isn't inspiring to all YouTubers, nothing is. Bald and Bankrupt. He's a little over a year old. He's 1.19 million. What's he using? Camera on a selfie stick. One of the most engaging people on YouTube. PewDiePie has said it's his favorite channel to watch. One of his favorite channels to watch. He has not gone like that's literally what it is, guys, is a camera on a stick. He's working with the GoPro, if I'm not mistaken. This is, oh, Ian, you never watched, here, I'm putting the link in. Binge watch him tonight. You're going to love this guy. You're going to love this guy. I know your sense of humor. He is going to be right up your alley. There you go. He's got a dry sense of humor. He goes into all post-Soviet countries, and he ends up like getting drunk in Chernobyl and stuff like that. But he's interesting. He's kind of there. You see Chernobyl Village Barbecue Gone Wrong. That's what you're going to expect to see a lot on his videos. That's a great thumbnail to represent what his channel is all about. You're very welcome. No, I know your humor. You're going to find it funny. I actually watched one of those videos first. It's hilarious. I'm so proud. We're so proud of it. When he hit 900,000, we caught it live. We went on. And he wrote the next day and said, thank you for the support and all that. So, big fan of his. Hey there, Runny Egg. How are you? Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. But there's somebody that's working with them. Yes, he travels, but you got to realize he's flying with Ryanair and he lives in London. He can fly to these countries for about 17. I'm not kidding. I've done it myself. You can fly for like 16 to 20 bucks Canadian on one flight that's 2 hours long. And then once you're there, he's doing post-Soviet countries. A lot of them you can rent for a hotel room for quite cheap. And eat for quite cheap and all those things. So it's not like he's breaking the bank and like doing like the famous Monaco shots and stuff like that. But he's engaging. All he needs is that camera on a stick has gotten him, like I said, 1.19 million subscribers. And he knows his audience. He's got no trouble with COPPA coming up. None. He doesn't even fit the criterion to it. I mean, maybe the one or two where their kids are into it, but it's not marketed to kids in any way, shape, or form. And his channel isn't going to fade away, and there's many millions like him that aren't. So take it very seriously, COPPA, most definitely, because there's a lot at stake into it. If you cross into those lines, there is the chance. Like I said, even if they gave you a $300 fine but it's per video on 10 different videos, that's still $3,000 if it ever works out. That's still a lot of money. More than what most people are ever generating on here. So take it seriously, but also look at the opportunity within it all. There's so many. It's almost like people, when these things come up, it's like an iron gate came across YouTube and we have no more rights.
Yeah.
And all the channels are just going to dissipate. They're done. No matter what you do in here, whether you're knitting, whether you're a parachuting channel or a Roblox channel, gone. Everybody is screwed. It's not that way. It's very important, and we've been putting a lot more emphasis on COPPA than we usually do any of the other ones. For the simple reason is there is a chance for monetary fines. It is different. It should be taken way more seriously. But that said, there's lots of opportunity to come out for it as well. And there will be channels taken down. There will be channels destroyed. There will be people quit from it. But there'll also be lots of room for other people to come in. And a lot of the audience is not going anywhere, guys. It took them a while, especially the Democrats were talking about. They don't go exploring in all the different niche ones as much, into D-Live and all the other ones, etc., etc. I'm just taking them as an example because there's a ton of them out there. And there will be some more that go, and it will help them as well. They'll start to get more traction in certain places. But no, don't think anytime soon, especially because of even something like COPPA, that YouTube is going to lose all of its viewership. It's not going to happen. This is the second biggest search engine in the world that we're all on right now. And it's going to take more than this to shake it, because in the end, the hardest hit are going to be a smaller factor, which are going over to YouTube Kids. And hopefully they'll get taken care of after this is all said and done. So it entices creators to start making, again, the good kids content. Because I have kids. We have kids that watch YouTube. I want them to have good content to watch. And I do believe they should be some monetary value for doing such on there. And maybe once the smoke sells, they can do more onto it. But for us and what we do, for instance, it's not really much of a change at all. Ian's in the channel, not much at all. No Man Unbroken, Career Spotlight. I mean, for most of us, it's not a big change. And there's tons of great channels out there that come in here all the time. They're doing amazing things. Here's one I was talking about a while ago. They were in a while ago. I don't know if they're still here. Wildly Intrepid Sailing. We just met not that long ago. I mean, this is a fantastic channel, guys. Like, I mean, top notch. This is entertainment for adults. They're acting their age. You know what I'm saying? That's why I know some people get insulted because of that expression, but it's true. They are acting their age, and that's what's helping them on YouTube. By not blurring the lines, you gotta realize there's lots of audience that don't want the lines blurred. There's lots of them, I'm sorry, they love kids, but they're like, I have kids. I deal with my kids all day. Can I please watch something for 15 minutes that doesn't have them? You know, so there is a large audience that is asking for that. Bait the hook. Most kids get handed their parents' tablet, etc. Definitely, for sure. Creator Spotlight shows such a cute, cool channel. It really is, guys. Came across a couple weeks ago of a Canadian channel, and that's what I've been looking for lately. We've been going out of our way to find channels like this that are really doing some great things on here that are on their way up, and they are an amazing channel. And not only are they doing content that works around COPPA, but now that this is going on, these are the channels that have a chance of really taking off from it. I mean, they're well done as well. Good banner, good thumbnails, well laid out. They've done their homework. A lot of their videos can go up to like 20 minutes, and they can actually pull it off. So there's lots of opportunity out there. It's only if we want to blame somebody else and stick in the mud, and that's the same as any job. You know, we can sit around and say, I'm getting screwed. They don't want me to be on here. It sucks. And on and on and on and on and on and on. Or take the bull by the horns. Okay, I can't do this. What can I do in here? What can I work with? Oh, that's too much for me. I feel like I've given up all my creativity. I'm out of here. This is not for me. I want to have my kids in every video, and I think I should still get paid. I don't want this. And you have every right to feel that way. But if you're going to stay on YouTube, then it's time to say, okay, it's time to work with this. It's time to make it happen. What do I got to do to get my channel in check, to work with everything going on with the COPPA changes and the changes that have happened already, and be ready for the changes that come. But that has always been part of the plan of Xenia and I and the channel we do, and why we laid it out the way we do, is we knew even from joining back again into YouTube once Apocalypse hit, that it was not going to be the end. I mean, the writing was on the wall. Once that stuff starts, it's a domino effect. More interest groups, more family groups, more everything gets involved. The more they start bringing up their issues, because now it's the hot seat. So now they got a voice at the table, and they're going to take advantage of it to try and get more and more things taken down that they don't like. Whether we agree they should be taken down, regulated or not, well, it's not our platform to decide. But they do have a chance to speak more about it, and that's what usually happens. There tends to be a lot more gate, because there is some gates closed on a lot of channels. I do agree in some areas, but it's not across YouTube as a whole. That's kind of the myth.
I think that it's good to try and think of what could be changed, you know, in the meantime till the January 1st. But I think at the same time we should devote a good amount of time on thinking of how to adapt in the meantime, and not on January 1st, but now, because the time is ticking and other channels will be doing it now, not on January 1st. So while it's okay to criticize YouTube and FTC, and we all do that, we all understand that, it's important to understand how can you change, where to adapt, and start it today. Not wait till January 1st to see if anything is going to change, if FTC is going to be softer, if nobody's going to be fined. Act the way like nothing would change. The FTC, COPPA, and YouTube, it is the way it is, and nothing changes. And then if it does, great. If it doesn't, you're prepared. Don't wait for that January 1st. It takes a long while and slow adjustment to change the way your channel is going. And it's not necessarily you have to change the way you are, but you can still adjust to the way YouTube is transforming. And it never is going to be the way it was 10 years ago, because just the world is different. We can't step into the same river twice. And it adheres to YouTube as well. It is changing. Everything is. We just have to adapt and not only complain and wait. We have to learn the tools that we can use now to adapt to it. Learn about our channel now so we can adapt to the changes and be prepared even better for the next time, because be sure there will be next time. This is not the first, and it's definitely not the last time when something is changing in a major way on one of the platforms on internet. And if you're a part of it, it affects you too. So it's good to be somewhat prepared to understand your channel and have the tools on hand when something happens. You're not caught, with your pants down, so to say. Yeah.
No, that's exactly what it is, guys. And I see some. I had a bit of a glitch here. Sorry about that. I thought you were talking an extra minute. So
No, I just also wanted to agree to what Ronnie Egg was saying, that adjustments have to be made as we are solely responsible for our own channels. And you're so correct in that. We're solely responsible in complying with COPPA. That's first and foremost. No matter what anybody says to you, how you should or should not mark your videos, you are the one that is responsible, because at the end, if you get fined, let's say, or if YouTube strikes you, you're going to be the one paying for it, symbolically or directly, not the person that suggested to you the solution. So you're the one to make the decision. But it also applies to everything else on your channel as well. No matter who, even us, whatever you're listening to, always double, triple check it, because it's you at the end. It's you who is responsible for what you're doing with your channel and on your channel, not anybody else.
Yes, Computer Chick, same for me. We actually started around the same time, computers, and it has been around since 1998. The thing was, it was never implemented, and especially the way it's going to be implemented. And for instance, where I've seen a bit of the chat, for what we've done in ours, I stand by it. So we did 3 videos on COPPA. We did every channel must comply, and that is the truth. Everybody has to realize what it's about. Then we did coping with COPPA the next week, because we were getting a lot of questions about it. We brought it into our Tech Talk Tuesday. And now, cashing in on COPPA and moving ahead and realizing it's not going to hit everybody. There are some that are most definitely doing it with nothing more than fear-mongering into it. I do believe it has to be taken seriously, because now whenever monetary fines come, that's not something that's had to be dealt with in YouTube up until recently. So this is a whole new ball game for everybody. And everybody's got to look at their channels, because letting it go and claiming ignorance after is not going to work. And it can be by video. And the problem is, there's no direct stipulations on what actually can get you taken down in the end, because of the gray areas into it. But yes, this was the side tonight to remind everybody that it's not going to take down everybody, that it's not going to clear out every channel, that YouTube is not going to cease to exist, that every bit of audience here is going to go away and watch another platform. That's not going to happen. It's cleaning up what should have been done years ago. It went too far, and that's what happens. The bigger you get, the bigger the bullseye on you. And YouTube should have known this, and through a lack of bad representation on the upper end of the board, find themselves where they are today, which has been passed down to us as our responsibility. So we definitely want to cover ourselves onto it. You want to know where it is to make sure you do not cross it. But that was the same with any rule that come in. Just this time, there's more at stake than there used to be. But with anything happen, you drive a car, you have to know the rules of the road. That's why you take a driver's test. That's why you have to study driver's ed. That's why you get fines if you don't do it. There's a reason for that and everything. And excuses, no ignorance for the law, no more here than it is anywhere else. And with any of them, I mean, channels that have been taken down, oh my God, I didn't know that if I wasn't monetized, I could use copyright music. I feel bad for them, but there's nothing can be done. There's nothing can be done. It's over. Whether you knew it or not, you did it. So it is very important that everybody understand what they can do on here and what they can't. And understand that the rules are always going to be very gray here, because there's just too big of a population to be able to set down a fast, steady this and that. But that said, if you start playing with fire, you gain more chance to be burnt. And most people know when they do. Once it gets settled down, we get them laid out a little bit more. With most of the law, people have skated through it. You know, how many times we got into a live stream that, all right, guys, you don't have to worry about copyright music as long as you only use 1/4 of the song. My favorite I've heard to this day is, it's okay to use copyright music as long as you only use the intro and none of the words. Like, everybody's come up with that. It's okay if you use 18.3% on the first half, and all these numbers, things that come through it. We're not engineers on here. This is all the misconceptions. That's why even when we do stuff, we put in links in the chat. After we're done, we put them in the description, because we want you guys to go check it out, because I don't want you to get hit. If you choose to get hit, well, that's your choice. Please ask before you put links in. Computer Check, please don't just post links without asking. I don't know what it's for.
Just checking it now. Okay.
Okay. I can't read it right now.
Yeah, I can't read all of it right now either. I don't know what it is exactly about. I will check that out.
Elsa fan, I've been on YouTube since I was 2 years old back in 2006. Wow. It's a long time. Long time going against the rules if we're going to get a little technical. Yeah, I know, computer chick, but please do not post without asking us first, please. Thank you. Ralph's Truckin', how are you, buddy? Hong Kong to you. Hope all is well. Great to see you. Guys, I hope you're having a fantastic one. So this was what it was, guys. In the end, this was supposed to be just a bit more tonight to kind of look through it and just see that there is opportunity in here. To use the opportunity to your benefit, if you choose to stay on here. I don't make videos for kids. I know my grandkids will see them, and if I edit accordingly, I see my channel as not for kids. I'm not afraid of FTC. Their reach ends at the US border. What do you say to that? Like, most parts, yes. I mean, they're not gonna. It's not worth it for most. We all know that already. I mean, look at us talking about it. We're based in Canada here as well as you. For the most part, yes. But we're still our audience is predominantly US, and what if some lawyer decides to help them out in a class action suit or something like that? That's the things to consider. And it is all, I mean, that thing happens with music as well. We've all been down this road before, like I say, through share programs, through music programs, etc.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in the law, it says it applies to anybody that has a U.S. audience because it is meant to protect the information, collection of information of U.S. citizens. So, therefore, it does apply to everybody who has even a little bit of U.S. audience. In practicality, how far their reach will be, we will have to wait and see. As Andrew says, most likely the collective action somehow, that's one of the things, but most likely the most effective one would be the YouTube itself, although it hasn't detailed yet what exactly it will attempt into punishing the channels who don't comply. We would assume that it is some part of guideline strikes that they have been using already for other breaches. So you would probably be in the threat of losing the channel, and therefore all Google products, possibly, that had happened before as well. So that's something to consider. If you are outside of US, it probably would be more direct impact to you if you don't comply.
Like, say, we'll take a bigger channel, for instance. Say a channel from Canada that has, let's take therapy. Oh my God, the reviewer. Oh my God, he's got like 14 million subscribers. Can't think of him right now. Unbox Therapy. Let's just take him as an example, okay? He's in Canada. He's got a huge following. They have like 14, 15 million subscribers now. Say he did a video and they hit him up and they make an example out of him and they go hard, Oh, you got 2 videos, $80,000. He says, you know what? Screw you. I'm in Canada. You can't get me. Kiss my ass. Okay, so they put it through the courts. He doesn't show up. It runs through, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we're fining him. He doesn't pay it. Yes, he is right. He's in Canada. He can't be touched per se unless they decide to pursue and set up a lawyer. And they might not. But what happens with a lot of that stuff over the years? 5 years down the road, he's got to go to the States for something. He's flying to the States. He gets there. They check his passport. He's been flagged. Now they can hold him. Now he's in the US. Now they can deal with him. You have to think of all these things, guys, because it is the FTC, folks. It is the FTC, and they do have the jurisdiction to do it. For the most part, Gary, I get what you're saying. I'm not trying to be negative with you, by the way, or anything like that. And most of them, I would not call your videos for kids. But this is the truth of the matter. Whenever a government, and the same with the Canadian government, was to do the same with the states, they can say, oh, screw you. I'm under the red, white, and blue. You're all up there, blah, blah, blah. But what happens 7 years down the road? You got to come up here for something, and they catch you at the border. This happens many times, and people are held for it. It is a charge. It's a delinquent fine, and then you can end up with even stiffer problems because of it. Could they extradite you? In theory, anything is possible like that. Would it happen? I think they would try to find some way to rectify it and stuff like that. I mean, I don't want to go too far because now we're getting into the scaremongering thing, and I don't want to. But we have to look at it from all perspectives. The size of the channel, what exactly could happen? I don't buy for a second, it's just another thing. It's not just another thing. Because it's not just, you lose your channel, or you get a there are chances for monetary fines into it that can be quite big. most likely most of us won't get hit with them because we're not big enough. But nonetheless, the option's there, and it's better off to understand them and know why we're making decisions either to go ahead and not pay adherence or do. That's part of the discussion with it, and it is a valid part of it. We really have to consider it. And there is some, like, for instance, here in Canada, there's some really big YouTubers out of here, like Linus Tech Tips, Unbox Therapy. There's a whole bunch of them. And like us, except on a gigantically larger scale, their predominant business is in the U.S. And just think of it. Those guys decide to fight, or blow it off. They're going to the States many times a year for business, trade shows, collaborations, etc., 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 many times through airports, crossings, where they're going to be able to hold up and say, hey, we got you here listed as wanted by the FTC for non-payment of fines. Look at the kid with the drone just a couple of months ago that flew over Las Vegas in the States. He got hit with $14,000 and change on fines. He didn't pay it. He didn't show up in court. Now it's up over $20,000 in fines for flying in a restricted area in Vegas. And the FTC has just as much clout as the FAA. So, in those ways, when fines aren't paid. So yes, technically we could sit there and say, up yours, but if I declare not made for children, what trouble can I get into? As long as here's Gary, to be short on that one. Most of your videos won't be made for children because you're not doing children themes. You're not talking to kids. If your grandkids are in it for a lot of the video, if your grandkids are into it for any major amount of time besides saying hi and that, what are you losing? Just mark it as made for kids and move on to the next one. If you want to really keep it simple and not complicate your life. When you're flying over and doing all your drone stuff, you're not gearing it towards kids. It's not like, oh, here's Happy the drone flying across the sky and blah, 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 blah. So, don't complicate your life more than you have to.
Definitely, and it is easier if you clearly know it is made for kids or clearly know that you are more, adult-oriented channel. But if you're in the middle, and that's what everybody is talking about now, then it's the gray area. But then you have to look at your channel yourself and your videos. Nobody is going to be telling you, how it is and take responsibility. There are lots of people are going to analyze your channel and tell you mark this and mark that. But nobody can take responsibility. I just want to repeat that over and over and over because you're the one that have to decide it. And if you're not sure, watch the video yourself. Watch it again. Look at the FTC guidelines. We actually have detailed them in more detail than it is on YouTube guidelines page about COPPA. We did screenshots from the actual COPPA law in our previous live stream that we dedicated to the subject. So just check it and see what applies, what doesn't. Is there anything that raises questions? And if there are a couple of videos, you don't have to delete them. Especially don't if you're looking for watch time or anything like that. Please don't. You're going to lose your watch time from those. Just mark them appropriately.
We find it hard. I don't know about you. I find it hard to talk about because it seems there's one camp that, oh, it's nothing, don't worry about it, and another camp that's saying all hell is breaking loose. And I think we've always been the channel has been preaching and preaching and preaching. There is a happy medium.
Yeah.
And we're trying to do it here, and it's very hard because we're up against that every time. It's like, okay, guys, you're all gonna be ruined. You're gonna have no channels. We're all gonna pay $42,500 a piece, blah 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 blah, or I don't care, and it doesn't mean anything, and it's all stupid. It's neither one of those.
No.
It's not any of those. Yes, 42,500 is in extreme cases. Big channels, we can't speak for them, but basically that's what it's leading to. Direct violators are doing actual kid-type stuff, screwing around with it. They're the ones that most likely, if anyone's going to get those big fines. Can anybody get fines? Most definitely. And who can sit here and say how the FTC is, how much they're going to put into regulating it? None of us can. None of us can even fathom the idea because we're not there. And we don't know how much they're going to lay on their own algorithm or tap into the algorithm to be able to find this out. We don't know. So it's not the end of the world, but it is something to be very well very knowledged in. It is important, but like anything else, whether it was the apocalypse or anything else that fall up until COPPA that we're dealing with right now, and everything to come, because there will be more to come. We all know that by now. There's been a pattern going on for a long time. Some that hit certain niches, some that hits the whole platform, but there is stuff coming all the time.
The first video that we made in September about it, called Adpocalypse, we actually contacted a couple bigger YouTubers with concern about, do you see? Because when YouTube actually changed their content guidelines with regards to it, they didn't announce it on Twitter. They didn't announce it anywhere. They quietly just added it to their guidelines. That's it. Nothing was announced. We made a video about it in September. We contacted a couple of the bigger YouTubers with concern of, it seems like it's going to be affecting a lot of YouTubers. And then the answer was, no, don't worry. It only affects family channels. And no, it will most likely affect a lot of YouTubers. It is more than just about toys, and toy reviews. Nobody rang the bell then. Why? My question is, why we're only ringing the bell now when we have literally, a month to spare, when actually the information about these changes have been there since the end of August. It was there since the end of August. Where are all these ringers there? Why there's all these videos made? If you look at your homepage now, most likely 3/4 of them are about COPPA. Why now? Why not in September? You can still look at that video, by the way. It's featured on our homepage from September, that we tried to get everybody's attention to it as well. I'm sure we weren't the only ones, but they definitely were in minority at the time.
I said what I wanted to say in reverse. I feel like Adpocalypse is nothing compared to COPPA. Yes, because the monetary fund, that's what it comes down to. There's more at stake. There's more skin in the game on this one than there has been in the past ones. That's why I feel the same way as you do as well. I agree with you completely. My non-traditional life. Pixelpia teaching. Didn't FCC didn't also say in their last press release that they acknowledged that there are family content that could be appreciated by kids that was not intended? Yes, and as you can see by the lawyer that was talking about it, YouTube hasn't jumped into action much. I don't think it's so much a conspiracy as I think YouTube is just using it as a chance. There is channels up the wazoo, guys. Yeah, we needn't think that YouTube is worried about keeping us all on here. They owe us nothing for being on here, and it's either us to show our value to be on here or get wiped out into them. It's either or. I mean, I know I'm not trying to downplay people's creativity side or what their worth is on here. I'm talking from the perspective of YouTube. I feel they don't want to put in the third option if it's there. Like I did see it from the way I'm reading it out in the case. I get that. I think it was 13 section B or something like that. I get that. But I think there was just, it's not by accident they didn't put it in. They just don't want to gray up the waters anymore. It's just like, well, here, we're going to set it more on the conservative side, and either they're going to be in or they're going to be out.
YouTube could also have done the permission from parents way of doing it. They could have done the email sending back and forth and verification and all of that, which also is part of COPPA, of how you can let still kids watch it with parents' permission. YouTube decided not to because it's just easier, because there is such a huge audience altogether. Like I said, this rule applies to all internet, not just YouTube, and it's going to be up to separate platforms. How do they deal with it? Each platform most likely is going to be having their own way of dealing with it. This is YouTube's way. We can whine about it, we can talk about it, we can try to knock on their doors. We all know how that have worked in the past, or we can try to adjust, learn from it now, and do the changes that we need now, and not wait hoping that something is going to change, because most likely it won't. Maybe it will, which is great if it does, but why we're waiting? Why we're waiting for this month now, in this freeze condition of not doing anything on our channels, shutting down channels, deleting videos, Get informed, get your tools ready, act now, and then if something changes, great. If not, well, we'll just go on together through it.
Kid Kelly says, just got here. Welcome, by the way. Didn't you all notice how Susan tweeted that she is trying to get more mature advertisers? So I think she is trying to split the kid safety advocates. That's been talked about for the last 2 months or so. They did a video onto it. And actually, I wish they would, because it makes perfect sense. Because limited monetization doesn't mean that you're doing something over 18. And I agree with their thinking onto it, that it'd be great for a lot of video games, a lot of movies, a lot of stuff. I mean, guys, a lot of stuff on here would be perfect in that range. I think they would make a ton of money doing it. I hope they do it. Will they do it? Well, that's another story, because I know the last time we had a gold coin, our push went way down. So I'm still skeptic of it, but I would love to see it. I think it's a great opportunity.
Creators Insider actually talked about that, I think 2 months ago or so, about Yellow Coin being more monetized in general and attracting more geared advertisers. So that came kind of at the same time, if not even before, like all the bigger changes, although they knew about them. So it's welcome. Will it divide the community? You're not going to want to hear it, but at the end, for a lot of people, this is business where everybody is for themselves. Are you going to shut down your channel if it's not made for kids just because your friend had it made for kids? I don't know. Take advantage of what you can. It's not a social network. It is a platform for creators to post their content. Yeah. If you need social network, there's Facebook. There's Messenger, WhatsApp, whatever else there. So it's hard to hear that, but that's just truth. Yeah. So it's not to divide the community. Everybody is feeling the effect of this. But, like everything in life, learn to use it to your advantage. Don't have to walk over other people's heads. But use to advantage what you can, what you have, put in your hands, so to say.
I beg to differ in a way in my non-traditional life. If I can interject on that one. Sorry, because that one is I feel it's become the opposite. I feel that's part of the problem, and that was the advent of live streams now. I feel it used to be more of a creator's platform, and it's evolved into more of a social media, and that's probably one of my biggest pet peeves with YouTube in general. I feel like it's created a lot more of the discontent on here, a lot more of the for lack of a better term, like the witch burnings. Hey, he kicked me out of his live stream. Who does he think he is? I know what I'm going to start a live stream and tell everybody how much I hate them and go after them. I find it's become a way more of a social media than it used to be. I find that's actually a big problem with YouTube, and it seems like it's like spiraling out of control. That people used to be able to put up more on here, and social media was left more to the Facebooks and stuff like that. I'm talking about years ago. We used to be able to the video responses was their way of trying to engage more social media into it, and I agree on that. I don't think it was that. Yes, I agree with, but that was YouTube trying to make it more of a social media, and that was it was a neat concept. I know about that. Like, I agree on it. It's just now it seems like it's become so Facebook infused, where mostly it's become inhabited with so many Facebook users that the kind that used to write like a page long rant, you'd be like, oh God, I'm not reading that. Well, it's like now I can turn on the camera and do that for 4.5 hours, 10.5 hours, 16 hours, 20 hours, whatever the case. And I feel like it's added more clutter inside where the creators, it's like the weeds are growing up and the fish are having less trouble to survive in the pond because the weeds are basically now outnumbering the fish. So that's my story. I get what you're saying onto it, but it was also a different attitude back then when they brought that into it. And I wish they hadn't, because they were baiting though. They were so jealous of watching Facebook and all of them, instead of interacting with them, saying, hey, we're a creators platform, but we can use you, even though they were required to be able to use it for all the social media side and that. They try to put their hands in too many doughs, unfortunately. And I still feel sometimes like we're paying the price for it.
And I have a great suggestion of at the end of our live stream to rate a video that is really cool and really is going to show you what this all means to the channels that are affected by it.
That's a good idea, actually.
So thank you so much for bringing that idea. We'll definitely rate the video. We'll put the link in the chat, and hope you can leave a comment there as well.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Alrighty, guys. So Xander's going to put in the link. Thank you so much, folks. If you've not hit the like button, please do. Fantastic conversation with you guys. Absolutely love it. this is what we love to do. This is my favorite thing on here. It's just discussing the talk. These are the people that really, really care. And this is what also brings me up sometimes, because sometimes it feels like it's all falling to pieces. It's great to hang out with people who really care about this platform and what they do on here and understanding it more. And it's always a pleasure to hang out with you guys. Instead of long rants on blogs, there's short chapters you have to pass next over and go over again and read it all. Yes, exactly. Oh, Information Man Show, how are you? Great to see you. We're just about on our way out, guys, but make sure to check out this link, folks. We're going to read this video. Watch it, guys. Really puts into effect everything with COPPA, and that is very well done. Tassie Adventures, it's so great to have you in here, my friend. Hope you're doing fantastic. All of you guys, such an honor and a pleasure and a privilege to have you all. And once again, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. And if you can come back and leave an on-topic comment after, it really helps us out a lot. Especially we're trying to build up these topic ones more and more because we stopped doing them for a while as much featured. But if you guys really like them, you guys can come back and just leave something about the topic tonight, what you enjoyed about it, any other questions or your thoughts onto it. It is greatly appreciated. Yeah, I made the Stand Push the Night Girl video. My initial thought was, oh my god, I'm caught up in the drama. It was a bad taste in my mouth. Yeah. Yep.
We love having you here, though.
Yes, most definitely.
Well, we hope we motivated you a little bit more on working on your channels, regardless of COPPA changes or not.
No link for that video. Oh, Lala Lydia's Life in the House. How are you? Better late than never. It's a pleasure to have you in. We're going to be heading out. We were just closing down, but we have a great video to read. If you come back. Oh, Pixel P, you didn't have to do that already, Xenia. You're up as well. Sorry.
Super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. Pixel P at Teaching and Learning. Thank you so much for all your input and support. Thank you so much for that super sticker, super chat. And I haven't seen that one before. So cute. Ended on a great note here. Positivity. Thank you so much. Bearded Picker, your positive attitude and concern for helping others is great. Thank you for what you do each and every day. Well, thank you so much for being here. This is what we're here for. Creators, YouTubers, for YouTubers. Hope we can inspire you with a little dab of entertainment. It's not as bad.
No matter how broken, we love you as well, buddy. We love each and every one of you guys too. Thank you for all you do for us. Crap My Dad Makes Me Watch. Thank you so much for being here. Always a pleasure. So head on over, guys, to Crap My Dad Makes Me Watch and check out this amazing video on COPPA. Career Spotlight is absolutely awesome. Terrell's artwork channel, the original wrench, fantastic to see. I feel like the end of Saturday Night Live. Junk Pick in the house. All right. What did I miss? Hey, we're just on our way out, my friends. Sorry about that. But we'll catch you guys tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Tech Talk Tuesday, guys. Have your questions ready. We'll see you soon. Be well.